Mm.
Hi, how you doing? We totally weren't discussing anything weird behind. Way,
shut the fuck up.
just shut up, please.
But I want that long neck, not talking giraffe neck.
Anyways,
Yeah,
we were
likewise. Shut
up.
your mouth.
we were talking about the Bible.
Hi, Frey. You want to take it away?
Absolutely, I'll jump us off. Okay, so last session, as Doku put it, was Casa de Los Angeles, which was a dinner party over in the First District with Alan Torson, and
Also
it
known
was
as
also known as who?
Also known as testicular torsion.
Yes, testicular.
Yes.
We call him testicular torsion now?
Yeah.
I do.
So
Because we're always breaking his balls.
yeah, we are really always breaking his balls. The poor man can't catch a break. And while Vera Tarsi, the pillar knight of the First District, was invited for what she believed to be a dinner meeting with the nobility, that was a lie. He brought her there under false pretenses.
Not strictly. She did meet
It
nobility.
wasn't. Yeah, exactly. She did meet nobility. She just didn't. He just kind of lied by omission by explaining that there wasn't many nobility. Nevertheless, saving face when everybody kind of got situated and got themselves together. The meeting, which was at one point very, very tense, turned itself in a good direction until our dear Trelio Lior's sister showed up, livid, angry at Alan, who, how dare she was not invited to a dinner of nobility. And while that yelling and whole argument fit happened, you all hid in the panic room. Thankfully,
Basically.
thankfully nobody got spotted. And while everything was getting all wrapped up, and we had Marquis chatting with Vera to try and catch up over a bottle of wine, she inevitably decided that she would indeed help you on whatever quest that you needed to do in order to save Ausar, mainly because she just wanted to get her Trelly back. But also, while they were busy doing that, we had another visitor. While the rest of the party was attempting to... Oh, Adelaide. While the rest of the party was attempting to get everything fixed as much as possible from the destruction of the argument that went down, who would show up but the next door neighbor, our dear blazing eminence, Iliaster von Greiger III.
Oh, shut the fuck
Absolutely always going to say that whole title as he demands to be called the whole title. He sauntered in to see what had happened and was rather pleasant, all things considered, before, of course, Tessotoire Nisipuri, our dear friend of the group, got himself situated in between the man who tried to kill him, and sparks were flying. And sadly, not in the fun, fancy, sexy way as they were upstairs. No, it was dangerous. Yeah, Careless Whispers was not playing. It was definitely tense. However, everybody walked away scot-free. Cheddar has been brought back into the fold, and everyone made it back home that night. A little bit worse for wear after a very long day,
But Scott
alive.
wasn't free.
Yes, Scott wasn't free. As while Genevieve was putting her clothes back on, she noticed a tracker had been placed on her. Presumably from Dejea, but just hadn't happened to notice at the time. And now we pick up on the morning after. And while everything is all getting situated again, I don't believe I've missed anything. The question is, how did you all spend that morning as we kick things off again? I'll let you all decide that as to how you ended the night, I guess. And we can pick it up from there.
Saving dick pic. I'm sorry.
Sending dick pics. Stop it.
I'm the worst combination of CPR, misery, and Reese's Puff.
The best, one of my best friends here. Well, besides the fact that all fucking night I've had the amalgamation trying to reach in my pocket.
No. They weren't exactly reaching for the pocket. They're at this point just they're looking for essentially a place they can latch on and bite you just in general, like an arm, leg.
Interesting.
Ooh.
But she just kind of wants to nibble on me?
Yes.
Interesting.
So remember when you were telling me to shut up because I was like, man, this session's going to be like CPR. Seems like not that far off.
Hey, the bright side is the bright side is with all things considered, it's very clear that the amalgamation isn't biting hard, doesn't want to bite hard. For what it's worth.
Was Genevieve's main question while she's trying to continue reading through that history book. Because she's never been one to really put stock in things like primals or gods or anything even close to that in this world. She's never been a woman of faith, let alone a woman of myth. It's always been focusing on the real flesh, blood, and meat of biology and medicine. But suddenly, almost everything in the recent days has involved some form of magic, whether divine or arcane. It's been the esoteric energies. It's now we've got the potential revival of primals, and now it's her intention is she wants to familiarize herself with this information because it could prove very important. Meanwhile, the amalgam is kind of gumming on Genevieve while she's flipping through the pages and just turns to look at the amalgam and says, Valen, can I help you? Is there a reason that you got your mouth on me?
Rock.
Why do you want it?
I already said it. No, sorry.
Yeah, he did. In fairness,
yeah,
he did.
yeah, I did already.
It wasn't a
but in
very
fairness-
complete response.
Fine. It calls
Calls to you.
give.
This is the stone we got out of Ausar's apartment, correct?
No, I believe it's the one from the golem, right?
It is. So the one you got from Alcer's apartment,
You specifically
it was
repelled to her, right?
yeah, Valen came towards it and was interested and went, nah, that ain't right. Something's different about that one.
The Alsar one.
Yeah, the Alcer
Yeah.
one.
So they're after the other one.
But all the evidence we found so far points to her eating this being a bad idea.
Still
Remain unconvinced that I should feed this to you.
real quick, are the devices and things down here functioning still?
Yes, admittedly they are outdated, but for the most part they weren't really touched. You find some general ones that like don't work; they just have malfunctions. But I would say about 70% of all the equipment down here still is in working order.
Hey, you know what?
I mean, if
Jeff-
that's the case, then if before we feed it to her, I could help with actually analyzing that with this down here.
Genevieve takes a look around the place and says, I used to work in a government facility. This is positively modern by the standards of what we had installed. Yeah, we can make it work. Yeah, no, if you're volunteering, sure. Let's give it a go and see if we can't get this analyzed. I've part of my intuition is screaming that we should never even entertain the idea of this, but on the other hand,
We're not doing anything else with it.
yeah, we're really not. The only other thing we could do with this is try to find a way to make a interference device like Alsar had.
If that's the case, then we have the one from Alsar.
True.
And
Okay.
this one is in a bit worse for wear than the other one.
Yeah, no. Fray, can we use the machinery here to analyze the we call it, analyze the crystal.
Absolutely could. And here's the thing about that. If you were in any other place, it might be a little confusing as to what machines to use. But not to mention the fact that you worked in a lab, but this lab is specifically where this type of information was developed. Yeah, you absolutely could. Might take a little bit to find what's working and if there's anything that can be salvaged, because as I said, 70% of the lab is operational, but it is outdated. And it's just kind of where you guys are at, but you may be even able to repair some of it if someone had like an electronic skill.
Well, I've got tinkering.
That would be enough.
Okay. In that case, if we can get some of this machinery up to snuff. 24.
Oh yeah, that should be more than enough. Looking around, a lot of the stuff that isn't functioning isn't because it's broken, albeit some of the stuff was broken in the attack with the goop monster, but not completely beyond repair. A lot of it was just surface level damage. Now, there were some in said attack that did damage the technology beyond repair, but honestly, after a few hours of kind of tinkering around, switching some extra components around that you find in the closet, I would say about 2 hours it would take. You'd probably be able to get 90% of the lab up to working capacity.
Okay. Hopefully that 90% is what we need. Okay. With operable tools now and with Marquis' assistance, what would it be to try and analyze this stone?
To analyze the stone, it would be Arcana. Now, if you were going to also be analyzing the amalgamation, that would be either nature, Arcana, or medicine. But I leave that up to you. You also would have enough time to do both if you'd so desire.
Just so you know, Ram, because you have a higher intelligence than I do in general, I only have proficiency in Arcana.
Okay.
So I can only assist you on that stretch.
All right. In that case, using Trellio's magical aptitude and my own proficiency in it, I'd like to analyze both, and in this case, do so with advantage.
That would be possible. What are you analyzing first, is the question.
I'm going to analyze the stone first. I want to see what exactly I missed about it just with the cursory inspection, its properties, and then when I'm analyzing the amalgam, I want to see what makes her tick and whether or not there is, well, incompatibility that may lead to catastrophic failure.
That is understandable. So now I will say, if you're analyzing the stone first, and you're also going to be taking time that night to analyze the amalgamation, if one fails, you could do it again, but you would have to forsake the other research. So I leave that up to you. So you're researching the stone first. That would be an Arcana check with advantage.
Okay. Tina. 22.
Very good. Having a cursory knowledge of this to begin with has also been a boon for you. Understanding what this was helped even more, but most importantly, finding the research files from Dr. Valentine really helped Genevieve find what she was looking for. And analyzing this and getting it on a more scientific level, you start to see just exactly how this works. You knew before that it was like an infinite battery. It didn't seem to have much of a lifeline in a sense. But now you're understanding how it's doing it. And what you do is you isolated this thing in a completely solid room. It's the device that they were using to get these things in the first place. And by analyzing on the monitors, you're realizing that it's just constantly pulling in energy from the outside, sourcing it through itself, and then expelling it, and then absorbing what it expels in an infinite motion. It's basically running it's powering itself.
It's a complete slap in the face of conservation of energy.
Exactly. It for all of your research, it doesn't make sense. Not in the slightest.
It's magic.
It's magic. It admittedly does at first when you first put it in and it's isolated, it did go quiet for a second. There was no activity. And then after it remained still for just a little bit in the environment that you put it in, that's when it started pulling in the energy. And once it had pulled in a decent amount and you could tell the crystal was fully charged, everything it expelled was just looped right back on in. So it clearly needed a startup. But now it's just functioning on its own.
What? On Genesis? Just looks to Trellia and goes, "This is nonsense." It's a good thing I didn't go into it. And I didn't specialize in Arcanum.
I only know a little bit of it. After all, someone had to make these cards. This was research purely on the crystal, right?
Yes.
Yes.
My only guess is maybe we're only looking at half of it.
What do you mean?
If something doesn't make sense by itself, then there might be something that's part of the larger picture. Genesis, as much as it is a mess of a system with magic and wonder and woo, so many things you can do about it. At the end of the day, it's also going to be broken down to a proper science. And so if it doesn't make sense by itself, it might be part of something bigger.
Well, this is a shard from one of the pillars.
Exactly. For all we know, we could be looking at what seems to be a completed formula, but is actually part of something bigger and more complex. If that makes sense.
No, I get what you're talking about. Okay. So we understand this a little bit better. Now the question of how would this interact with Valen if she were to consume it? Okay, so this draws in energy. The question is, would this power Valen, or would this eat her up and then continue using that to supply itself?
Blank stare.
And here's the second Arcana check. Nat
Now,
20.
is this-
Well, well.
Nat 20 for a total of 28.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And this one was specifically on a Valen inspection,
Yes.
correct?
This is specifically to see how Valen ticks and how she might, what do you call it? How she might harmonize,
to the rock.
harmonize, react to the rock, whether there's compatibility or not.
Now, the question as you're doing this is, Valen, do you completely consent to what's about to happen? Because you're going to be put in a pod.
Well, I don't know. What does Genevieve do to make me get into the pod?
So, because I'm helping with her, could I also perhaps be the one to assist with this?
Yeah.
How do you coax me in? How do you
I
coax
would
me
appreciate help with that, yes.
in? How do you
She-
coax me in?
Valentine, I should say.
Genevieve.
At the end of the day, no, Valentine.
Oh, okay.
I'm Valen. Get it right.
Yeah, or your Valine, whatever. Valen, if you're looking for getting this crystal, the quickest route for us to get you to this is to make sure we understand what it can do for you. If you're able to get in this pod, let's run a few tests. Then everything looks okay. We'll give you the crystal, no questions.
The amalgamation stares. Too many words.
Get in pod, you get crystal if good.
And that's like that. And
Good job. Once again, with the help of Marquis coaxing the amalgamation in, the pod is sealed, and you can hear the air decompress as it locks tight. And looking at this, it almost looks, Genevieve, to you, similar to the coffins that they would put the potential knights in prior to their knighting process. It's eerily similar, in fact, as how this machine works and all of the devices and on it. It's almost like it's a proto variant of the coffins that they put them in now. The knighting process,
Which is-
almost like it started here.
Which is funny because this was the place where Valentine did her research.
And despite what concerns may appear here, that's kind of pushed to the side as you activate it, and the amalgamation begins to lose form. And instead of looking as Valen does, with a mostly humanoid appearance, Valen, your body would start to shift and shrink and collapse in on itself. And as the energies begin swirling inside, eventually you literally become an orb. You are compressed. And for lack of a better term, you are put into a stasis-like state. You're not dead, but from here, you're asleep. For the first time you've ever been asleep. For as long as you can remember. Now, to Genevieve and to Marquis, who are both witnessing this, an analyzation process begins. And while you are watching the amalgamation literally being compacted into a sphere, the scan begins, and you realize that the power source that you were holding just moments ago in the shard is the same power source that is inside of the amalgamation. Though this one, it's inside the amalgamation, doesn't seem completely intact. It's a lot more unstable. And the readings are showing that. The readings that you were getting off of the other one, it wasn't perfect. They were unstable at first, and then they started to solidify. Further testing would be required to see if it eventually loses that stability. But Valen's is constantly leaking, and it's not generating all of it back. While the other one started at 70% capacity, reached 100%, and then stayed at 100% with some fluctuation, this one struggles its way up to 70, drops down to 50, and then just kind of floats between that null gap. There's something leaking, and you notice this almost immediately as the Genesis that's being pulled in is being rejected, and then pulling in again, and then bursting out into the amalgamation's body, and then not being absorbed back in. For lack of a better term, Valen is working at half capacity.
Will this be why she's so incoherent half the time?
That could absolutely be. You're not quite sure. That one would be a little bit more conjecture, but you could most likely surmise that that would be part of the reason as to why Valen is barely functional as a social entity, aside from being
But
large.
also because why she's so drippy, basically.
If we were to compare her data to the shard, I assume it all lines up.
It would begin to line up. Now, comparing her data, yeah, the shard is one and the same. Now, if you were to consider what might happen if you combine the two, even with that Arcana check, what you could assume is if Valen just ate it, it might not repair it, it might just double up her energy, and that could end up just detonating her.
While she's still in the pod, is there any way for us to actually merge it
Access.
with the
Yeah.
core?
Would there be a way to like get access to the core and then maybe attach the missing shard?
That is something that you could attempt, but that one is going to be both an Arcana and a Medicine check, because it's two different processes. One to stabilize the crystal enough, and then another to implant it and see if it stabilizes them.
Is anybody else here capable with medicine?
Tuare, Doku.
Yes.
Either of
I-
you proficient in medicine?
Do you
I can.
really want to leave? Let the frog child do this.
No, that's not what I'm asking. I'm looking to the rest of the group and saying, I need a stable pair of hands that knows what they're doing to help.
I'm
me
a
with
stable
this.
pair of hands.
Okay.
I do too.
That is true, yeah.
Jack's also-
I'm not particularly skilled in medicine, so I'm gonna let you guys handle this.
Yeah. This is more me responding out of character because I'm not sure where Cal is during all of this, but Cal also has proficiency in medicine.
Yeah, well, Cal would also be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah, you would have tagged along for the party, but what I kind of said, and I wrote it off, was that you took a nap in the van and were watching Cheddar
Basically.
while the rest of them
Okay.
went inside.
Okay.
Snacked on my candy bites.
Exactly.
Yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, we have someone who's both proficient in medicine and Arcana, so
Okay.
we'd be able to get
Trelio?
assistance.
I need you to help me with the magical side of things. Kaladin and Doku. Kaladin, I need you to help me with the procedure itself. Doku, I need you to help hold things steady.
Sounds good.
Count on me.
I will put poison
For all
in their
this.
core while they're weak.
Poisons the crystal on accident.
Oh boy.
Well,
Part of the reason why I only want Doku helping with holding things still rather than like reaching in. But hopefully this goes okay. So first the Arcana, right?
Yes, let's do Arcana first to make sure that you can even begin to attempt this.
21.
Oh my god.
That's good.
But I have like a +8 modifier.
Yeah, it's true. You are able, upon researching both Valen's broken crystal and this crystal, you notice that they're both broken, and that there may even be more missing.
I
But
had
this,
the
even if you
feeling.
combine these two, yeah, this isn't the complete core. Whatever the complete core may be, you don't know. But what you do know is that this is doable, at the very least, as a patchwork job in order to potentially fix it.
Is the equivalent of, like, again, to use the math analogy, all we're doing is we're substituting some numbers for different things.
Exactly.
We're slotting in one formula into a bigger formula.
Yeah, that's actually a really good analysis as to what's going on. Yes, it is doable. It's not a perfect fix, but it is the steps in the right direction.
I think the
You
perfect
can
fix
focus on.
requires us to have the rest of the pieces of this crystal.
Mhm.
Which means Valen eating a pillar. Wonderful.
yippee!
So yes, with that, I suppose that we've made the procedure doable, and for the actual procedure itself.
Yeah, man. I sat down, I put down numbers. That could be good, that could be bad.
Mark,
Hey, man,
it
15's a
could work.
good DC, I just want to say.
That's true.
Plus
Now,
10 modifier roll of 5.
Well, I just realized something else also. I'll put this in tavern menu. Hold on.
Oh, did you realize what I realized also when I sent
Maybe.
that I sent to Peppy?
I don't know. But essentially,
What the fuck?
What are you sending to Pebby?
CPR, baby.
God damn
Hold
it.
up.
So that's a 15 on the actual procedure itself.
Mhm.
If only I'd rolled that high on the actual procedure. God damn it.
That is true.
Ripping at the finish line. Oh well.
Damn man, 15's a good DC.
It's only 5 off 20.
The thing is,
Generally in
honestly,
D&D, 13's a good DC.
that is true. The thing is if you guys hadn't taken the previous prep work to figure out what's going on, this would have killed Val. I will say that I did lower the DC for every successful thing you went, which started at 30, and I knocked it down by 5 for every successful pass you made, so it went down to 15.
So we just barely passed.
You literally
Hey.
barely passed. You literally did.
Damn.
Just like back in university, barely passing.
Yes, like, hey man, D's get degrees.
The machinery in here and the procedure that follows is a little bit rocky. The machinery itself is outdated, and frankly, Valen isn't necessarily stable, neither is the crystal that you're working with. And your first attempt, the crystal itself, they bounce off of each other. It's like they're magnetically repelling one another. Something doesn't seem to sit right. And then the second one, you let them rest for a moment, almost as if their energies are intertangling with one another. And you notice this in the energy shift, as the energy that's being expelled from the other crystal is being absorbed into Valen's, and slowly but surely they're being pulled towards each other, to the point that eventually it begins to just set itself into place, almost as if it's reconstituting itself. And as Valen's form literally splits, and Valen, you feel this, you are literally being opened and ripped apart. It's not a painful, I mean, it is a very painful experience for a moment. And then, suddenly, the crystal clicks, almost perfect. The broken shards that kind of were falling off of it as you were cradling it, it all just kind of locks back into place. And your body snaps closed. And wrapping around the crystal, you begin to see something in this dream. And you're not quite sure what it is at first. But you're seeing through your own eyes a very familiar sight. You're not quite sure why you remember this place, but you're in a laboratory. It's bright with those disgusting white LED lights blaring of just their blank color.
Don't get
Yeah,
me started on those. Actually, I do hate those.
I know you. Trust me, I do too. That blinding white light is illuminating this whole place, and people are abuzz. They are running back and forth. You're suddenly in this crowd, and you're not quite sure where you are at first. But that's when a familiar face steps in front of you. A balding man with bright red hair and a long beard. He kind of steps in front and goes, "Ah! Dr. Valentine, I'm so happy to see you. Come. We need to talk on your research." And he takes you by the hand, and he begins to lead you through this facility. Moving past as people are darting out of the way, you realize that wherever you are, it's very cold. Like you can see your breath, which is interesting because you don't breathe. Eventually, you get up to a set of double doors. And this boisterous man scans his key card, swipes it through, pops in a passcode, and then the doors open. And standing before you, as you walk forward towards this whole thing, is a single pod. Sitting inside is a sphere that's moving around some kind of generator. And the man in the lab coat looks to you and goes, "This work is genius, Valentine. I'm very impressed. The amount of things that we could do with that. Amazing. We could set on a whole new army. We could march forward into tomorrow. You, as he just kind of pokes into your chest, you have set the stage for tomorrow." And then you hear a familiar voice. It's close to your voice, but it's different. It feels motherly to you. And you hear it speak very simply, I'm canceling my research. The man looks at you for a moment and, perplexed or maybe angry, you can't really tell, but he takes a step back and sneers at you. You're canceling your research? Why on earth would you do that? Once again, the voice speaks. It's not right. It's wrong. What we're doing is wrong. We're making life simply to throw it at our enemies. That's no way to make something live. And the doctor shakes his head and goes, No. You misunderstand. What you're doing is making monsters. And those monsters are going to set us forward. They begin to argue. It begins to fade from your ears. It starts to sound muffled. It's like you're underwater. And then it ends, and the last thing you're able to hear as you feel your body dragged out of this place is, Dr. Valentine, your contributions have been very important, but seeing as you are no longer fit for duty, I believe we will be taking our measures into our own hands. Thank you for your time. We'll see you soon. Your body is dragged from the office, the doors are closed, and just then, you feel yourself waking up. And suddenly, you begin to reconstitute. Your body that was once a sphere of goop, slightly more stable. As your vision flickers on, and as your energy begins to kind of recoup, you're in a pod with all of the others just kind of staring at you. The process was a success, and you feel a bit more spry, is the best way I can say it.
Welcome back, Valen.
Yeah.
All right. The self-destruct button has been implanted.
First thing that Valen's going to do is, not a monster. Oh, shoot laser beams.
Not a monster. Of course you're not a monster, Valen. Maybe a
Are
bit.
you
You're a bit hungry, but you're not a monster.
Are you actually gonna shoot laser beams? Are you panicking
Yes.
right now? Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Didn't hear that bit.
So happy you
going to
repaired
duck.
all of this. We went through
Is
so
this
much.
is it, yeah
Only
is this
for
going
the
anybody in
idiot
particular or
behind all
just going around the room?
Quick question quick question for that. My laser beam.
Yes.
Is it multiple laser beams or is it just one?
It is one laser beam per hit die spent. If you are just freaking out, you are probably spending all of your hit die.
Yep. I'll
No one expects
No-
the goop
Oh!
monster to shoot.
Did you just kill yourself?
No. I rolled 35 though.
Okay.
I'm so happy we spent so much, time and effort repairing all of this.
Yeah.
Not a monster as form out. For what looks like form out. Sprout out. And they charge a sickly green energy beam before kind of just flailing about, firing outwards, and well,
And casting
What are you casting?
sleep.
Actually, that's kind of funny because how much?
Yeah, hold on. Hold on. I did 35 to myself.
Yeah,
Let me
so
know.
that would
Hold on.
work actually.
Hold on. 35 minus 59. 24.
Yeah, it would work. It would cost almost all the hit points needed, but it would actually work.
Well, no, like I actually have to roll for sleep for 5e.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. I forgot.
And
Oh,
while the
boy.
lasers are shooting,
37.
while the lasers are shooting,
Yeah.
or when the lasers start coming out, Cal's going to duck, and he's just going to say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Calm yourself, calm yourself."
Ah, damn! I just fixed all this.
Yeah,
It just immediate sleep.
yeah. So
I am asleep. I have 24, so.
yeah, that's true. There it goes. So, one thing I will say is the process that goes on is that when Valen reconstitutes, the panic in her eyes is very clear. And when she begins shouting, these beams just burst, and it does begin the lasering. And thankfully, they begin cutting and cleaving their way. They're literally burning paths throughout the place. But thankfully, before it can become too dangerous, or rather risk caving this laboratory in on you all, Marquis pulls out a card, immediately casts sleep, and Valen, already appearing incredibly drained from these beams bursting out of her body, falls forward and is asleep again.
Okay, that's new.
Good save, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
Here's the thing: I was debating about
Oh.
whether or not I should pair color spray or sleep today.
Oh,
Man, I'm glad you chose sleep. Valentina Genevieve is like ducking down now and going, just where she previously had thrown herself to the floor. Probably grabbed Doku, taking him with her, and then slowly come up again and say, "Okay,
We tried to do one nice thing. For
laser
you.
beams.
One nice thing.
Laser beams are new.
We get lasers.
Laser beams are new. Jesus. Okay.
Are we? Well, since she was yelling out, "I'm not a monster." Are we counting that as a possible success?
Think so?
I'm counting that as they've gone crazy, and we should put her down.
I don't think that's a good idea.
No, it would make me feel better.
That's nice. That's nice.
No,
but
no, quite honestly, it's who knows.
Okay, so Valen apparently had, I guess, some sort of nightmare from the looks of things. That had all the trademarks of somebody shaking themselves out overnight. So, give her a chance to rest. Obviously, she needs it. I think we succeeded. She's not exploding. The energy readings, so they look normal. They look stable, actually. So, for now, I think it's time we got some sleep. And hopefully Valen feels better in the morning.
Oh, I thought this was in the morning.
no, this was the night before you all went to bed.
Okay.
Oops, did I do that?
Don't you be smarmy.
With everything kind of stable, at least you think now, I assume everybody goes to bed.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. With the amalgamation seemingly okay. Mind you, now that they are sleeping again, their body hasn't formed into that orb. They've stayed complete. And they're just kind of slumped on the floor. But separating, going wherever you may need to, as it all kind of calms down for the night, and the scorch marks throughout the laboratory only damaging a little bit of the technology before it all kind of got stopped. The rest of your night is relatively peaceful. There's no real major incidents that happen. The occasional light fixture falls as they've been weakened by the blast, but nothing that is necessarily dangerous. And in the morning, you all awake. You've gotten a long rest. You survived the scary day. Now with morning,
Whew.
yeah. Now with morning coming on what would have been the eve, or rather, as coming into a new day on what was possibly the most dangerous day of your entire lives, filled with subterfuge, political intrigue, and subsequently trying to make friends wherever you could. I will then tick the timer down that Ausar has 4 days left until his execution. What will you do on this day?
Well,
Drink.
I'm going
Realize
to
all is lost.
I'm going to check in on Valen.
Valen, how are you now?
Well, does this count? That I'm guessing that counts as a full rest.
Well, yeah, you would have gotten a full rest.
Okay, cool. I'm back to full. Valen's just kind of sitting in the tube, essentially, just on the ground. You know, she looks vaguely more humanoid, a little bit more composed together. But she's just kind of just sitting there, looking down, just seemingly doing nothing.
Going to tentatively hit the button to open the pod. Actually, not that it's really super necessary. It's got fucking rents carved in it from the lasers. But I'm gonna open the pod and give Valen a moment before then just kind of gently asking, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling this morning?
As soon as the pod opening, there was no reaction. As if it didn't even hear it. Or maybe didn't even care. But as soon as you spoke, Valen kind of jumps a bit. But then, a green glow goes again before quickly fading. She looks up and looks at Genevieve and goes, I'm sorry.
Genevieve is going to slowly sit down on the edge of the pod. With a look of concern, is going to ask, you shouted something about monsters when you woke up.
Once again, as I mentioned of monsters, a green glow forms,
Hey,
starts to build
hey.
before
No, you're not a monster.
and it fades. Not.
But the word obviously means something to you. What happened? Did you have a nightmare?
I had a dream. I was someone, not myself. It sounded like me. I was in the area I didn't know. A lab. Some guy. Some person. Bald, with red hair, was it? With red beard?
Oh yeah, he had a long beard. He had fiery red hair. He was balding. He had the hair on the side.
Balding, that's what it was.
Who does that sound like to me?
I
That
didn't say it. Oh, yeah, fine, fuck it.
yeah, well, yeah, either way.
Oh, no, okay, if you're not saying it then.
Well, no, I am, but I mean, what Valen will say is, there was a guy, red hair, red beard. Was there any other features? Short, tall, fat?
He wasn't necessarily fat. He was actually pretty short. He was a dwarf.
Huh.
But very stocky. So what you would expect. This sounds like Dr. Torin Locke, who was the director of the night program, who was killed by Dr. Harmus Worf before he escaped the city. You actually would remember this from the first session, where Dr. Locke was showing you all around the night facility, very ecstatic about watching children get shot and then not taking damage from it.
Yeah, I remember that. End of the night program. That kind of clicks into place. Because I know that Valen sounds like Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of the ideas click into place that the reason the pods from the night program look the way they do is because they stole Valentine's tech and co-opted it into the night program, despite the fact that she met all the requirements to shut down the night program because she got results sooner.
Short, red-haired man pointed, calling me, I think, a monster. The person who I was said they didn't want to create things like that. The man looked mad, scary, angry. Whoever I was pulled away. Then I woke up.
I think you were seeing things through the eyes of Dr. Valentine. That's what makes the most sense to me. Having some sort of altercation with Locke, which, now that I look at the technology here in her basement, makes far too much sense. I'm so sorry, Valen. But you're not a monster, I promise you. I bet you, Dr. Valentine, didn't think you were a monster either. She didn't want you to be a monster. She had more heart than any of us on any of the research team. Honestly, I was very jealous of her. She was everything I wanted to be as a scientist. And I failed that as well. I think you're the best example of what she managed to develop before whatever happened to her. You're not a monster. You're your own person. Whatever Locke said is a load of horse shit. That man couldn't tell a monster from a fucking gnat. You are no more a monster than the children from the night program or anything else.
Where is Miss Valentine?
I don't know, kiddo. I wish I did. All the records we have shows that she disappeared and was assumed dead. Going back, like, behind the stage for a second, out of character, what was the public story on Valentine?
The public story on Valentine was that it was about a year before the night program was officiated that while she was doing her usual duties at the university and working with the government on several projects, that there was a tragic incident where she died in a house fire.
This house.
This house.
Uh-oh.
That, like I said, roughly a year before the night program had actually finished. This when this happened. Just a very sudden, tragic accident, and her body was never recovered. Presumably burned in the flames of the house.
I don't know, Valen. We never really saw her before she left. I'm gonna, in character, going to withhold that until such a time as Valen is a little more stabilized. But out of character, saying it, Genevieve is fairly sure that that house fire was anything but accidental. Yeah.
Oh boy. I miss her. She out of character because how you described this that scenario, that dream, how long would you say that Valen got to actually interact with Valentine?
Probably not more than a few months before she presented you to Dr. Locke, because Dr. Locke was the director on the entire program itself. It wasn't he wasn't just head of the night program. The night program was his research, um,
But he was the
along
head
with
of.
Dr. Worf. But he was the head of this development. He was the one who was heading up all of the research projects, Project Ardent, Project Homunculi, all of those. He was the one basically handing out funding and officiating them. You probably would have been completed, I would say, about 2 or 3 months before she died. Conscious enough, but you would really only remember her in flashes, nothing concrete.
Hmm. Alright. Gee. Well, I mean, that's good enough to form a bond.
Yeah, absolutely.
She would call me her daughter, her creation. And I miss her already.
I know, kid. Miss her too. Come on.
Wow.
Can't be sitting in this pond all day. That's it.
As she stands up, she'll kind of look down at herself, perhaps for the first time. She looks like what she wore. She looks like what she was wearing, before. But she'll kind of go. She'll look down and kind of cover herself and go, can I? Do you have any spare clothes?
This is different. Is like the clinical side of Genevieve takes us think that's different. I do believe that addition of the crystal has led to a expansion to the the more human side of your consciousness. Yes, she'll pull off her research, like her lab coat, and offer that to Valen. Here, we can get. You can wear this while we get you some proper clothes.
Thank you. She'll drape it on and kind of keep it like hold it shut.
No worries, kiddo. Come on. Let's see if we can get some breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like that, and then she'll fall.
Well, good job, everybody. That could have ended really bad.
Sure could have.
Yeah, really.
Almost did.
Almost did. Yeah, I'm really happy. I was like, okay, 30, 25.
We almost got splazered.
Yeah, not only did you almost get splazered, that procedure almost failed. I again, it was like, all right, starting at 30.
Oh.
Working our way down.
Third success. I'm like, okay, 15. Very good.
Also, real quick before we go further, I will be right back.
Okay, all good.
Also, do you need to put the child down?
She's already bed.
Okay,
I
cool.
actually got her to
Yeah,
bed.
yeah. If you listen, there was at one point in time where Frey was on his phone.
Yeah, I climbed on my phone and I was carrying the baby to
Right,
bed. She's
yeah.
all passed out. Yeah. As the morning kind of ticks by and everything kind of gets up, there's one last thing, and it's very faint. But Valen, as you're standing yourself up from the pod, for a brief second, you feel a hand on your shoulder. It's very cold. And it fades almost as quickly as it comes, kind of lifting you to your feet. And it's a new sensation because, to my memory, you don't feel heat or cold, for that matter. You didn't really feel. But the world around you is becoming a little bit more tangible, if that makes sense.
Note to self, the whole...
You get it.
I was going to say, note to self, the entire party is slowly becoming haunted.
Yeah, exactly. We already were haunted. Did I
We
not mention
already-
I picked that feat up at character creation?
That's
Ah,
true, he
yes.
It's Dark Fate and Haunted.
did. um,
Oh boy.
but as you're kind of going throughout your morning routines, whatever you all may be doing, a message kind of like ding comes on Marquis' phone. Looking down, are you gonna read the message?
Yeah, I'm reading.
Okay, and
After putting so much effort in patching bridges with his kind of girlfriend at the moment, in and out,
now
kind
ghost
you now ghost her.
Yeah, the perfect way. Like, I'll help you guys. Perfect. I'm never gonna talk to you again. Uh,
Hey
Fucking
man, I got what I wanted.
Marquis is a PLA.
yeah.
Dude, listen, okay? According to all these internet videos about how to pick up
Or
girls,
PUA,
you never
that's
show them affection.
Yeah, don't show them affection. Number one. Anyways,
Ask them. Number 2, ask them what they bring to the table.
that is true. But for real, so it is a message from Vera and Alan. You've been added to a group chat, and the message is just kind of Alan actually taking pictures of everything being fixed, at least getting fixed, and then going, everything went fine, smiley face, thumbs up. Like,
I think the favorite part of that is the idea if he also has like a price tag, like scrolled on the image of each to show like
yeah,
how much it was.
yeah, absolutely.
Broken chandelier, $2,000. Broken table, antique, $3,000. The look on her face when we shot back,
Priceless.
Yeah. Um, and he starts sending picture after picture, and I'm absolutely keeping that he's totally writing in the price tag amount of all the damage, and going, and I didn't pay for any of it. Winky smiley face. Like, and then Vera responds, "You're an ass." Just, and then a few seconds later, but thank you. And they kind of have a bit of a back and forth at this point while they're doing everything. To which Alan goes, "I've already cooled all things down with Dahlia. She wants to meet up tonight. We're gonna have a conversation. It'll be okay." And Vera goes, "Don't stick your dick in crazy." And he responds,
First time, all right.
"What are you writing?"
I just type back like, not a second time.
Not a second time. And he goes, guys, do you really think that low of me?
Yes.
Yes. All of these messages, yeah, same time. Just, yes. And then he just sends a frowny face. But through all that, Vera goes, and speaking in, she sends a private message to you, and it's just simply, happy to have you back, Trelly. When can we see each other again?
This is where I get all that advice I got online comes in. I will write back. It's good to be back here. And I don't know. Things around here are a little bit crazy. And I'll actually like take a photo of the aftermath of last night. With like the scorch marks and I assume the amalgamation that's like, oh man.
Yeah.
Like basically in the middle of all the chaos and shit.
Yeah, you just snapped a picture. It's like, yeah, this is what happened. She writes back, understood. Well, don't make me wait too long. And then she sends one more and goes, Ausar's execution is supposed to be public. And you didn't hear this from me. but it's a pretty big deal, and they're going to make sure that it's a big deal. 4 days. You'll have my back. I'll have yours. I'll see you soon then. Heart.
I'll send back a promise and also a heart.
Very cute.
Now you can see what it's like with my DMs between me and Ditto.
Yeah. Yeah. He's gonna be killed in 3 days, Uwu. Oh my god.
Hurry up.
Oh my god, you know just how to talk to me. You really know how to rizz up a woman. OMG.
Hey man, listen, okay? I know how to save a dick by using CPR.
That's true.
Stop that.
Marquis right now is the Rizzler. But I digress.
I mean, he's definitely
Laser
definitely
beam.
dressed to fit.
That's true.
Resist laser beam.
Listen, dress for the job you want, not for the job that you have.
That is true. Nevertheless, I believe on your agenda next was to try and figure out what you guys were gonna do with the crystal that Ausar had, and see if that's even the source of the device, and 2, how to get it to work again.
So, I assume this would be very similar to inspecting the last crystal.
Yes, it would be. However, the laser light show
May or may not have fucked with the machinery. I assume
not
so.
even may or may not. You remember how I was like, yeah, there's some damage, just wear and tear. No, it's been burned straight through. It's
Well.
it's been torn asunder.
Well, guess we're doing this caveman style.
Well,
Whoop.
time to send Valen the bill.
Ah, yes, with all the money she doesn't have.
But that's the thing. She
Remember,
does
she
have it. She just can't.
remember, remember, she pulled out a black card once.
Oh,
She
that's
did have a
true.
black card. That is true. She just didn't have access to it.
And now with her being more human, I think we can
You
get
guys
access.
don't know. Hey, you guys don't know that quite yet.
Nevertheless,
No, but Genevieve does.
that is fair. Either way,
Yeah.
naked Valen aside, scared Valen aside,
Naked and afraid.
naked and afraid, yeah. You could attempt to try and research this, but to really get a good view at the crystal itself, you have to open this box, this glass box that's surrounding it, and you don't really see any way to get into it. It looks sealed, and inscribed on it, on every corner of this cube, are different etchings. They're pretty old looking runes, if you will. And it's seemingly keeping it sealed up tight. Now, you could do an arcana on here, but this arcana would be specifically to try and figure out how to get this open. Or you could just attempt to research it through the box, but I
I
will
will
just
strength
say,
to open the box itself.
you
That's a-
can try.
Fucking
I'm
bad
joking.
idea.
I'm joking.
Yeah, no, I know you're joking. So the question is, I do remember last session you were going to use an I know a guy quest. Is that still on the table?
Yes, actually. I believe we still have the details for him.
Yes, you do. And everything was all approved, so you could absolutely go about introducing or explaining to them that you may have someone in mind, a Josh Donahue, Dr. Donahue, if you will, or Professor Donahue, either one.
So,
I leave that to you.
yeah. Okay, so equipment's trashed. That, nothing we can do about. It's just as well, for the matter of this whole trying to set up an actual safe house deal, I had a man in mind. He was another guy on the research program. He was also a teacher at the university, much like Valentine, actually. And He, as I understand it, he runs a small radio repair shop now. I don't know where he is at the moment. We keep in contact sometimes. He was a nice guy. He was one of the few ones who was actually like happy to do his work until he found out just exactly what we were creating. Left, like I should have.
Yeah, he primarily right now works in like a retro tech shop. You know, like
Yes,
boom boxes.
yes, the stereo shop, the
Yeah,
stereo
the
shack.
Yeah, the
Ster-
stereo.
No. The stereo room too.
Yeah, there you go. The stereo yurt.
The stereo yurt.
I heard it when back in like God, it was an 82.
God damn it.
The stereo yurt kill.
Yeah. Okay, so he's working a stereo yurt somewhere somewhere out in somewhere here in this city, actually, in this area. He likes to hit the beach. I think Kaladin, I don't think you'll like him. He's definitely seems up your alley.
Why is he into the whole nature thing as well?
Oh,
Nature
yeah,
magic
that
and
is
all
that.
that? Or
He's also kind of got a kind of a chill vibe to him. He loves his floral print shirts. I think you guys will get along with him. He's just overall a really nice guy. He's basically everybody's uncle.
yeah, I like my luau shirts myself.
Well, you'll get along well with him then. And I was hoping to hit him up. Hopefully he remembers some of his, because he was more on the technical side of things. He was the hardware guy, where I was the wetware. And hopefully he can help us, well, for one, have a look at this thing so we can examine it the same way we did the last crystal, and then hopefully build a device that will use it as a power source to give us a dampening field so we can talk in peace. Every minute we spend here talking about sensitive information is more opportunities for whatever else to listen in. It says, looking at the bug currently resting on the shelf.
The bug on the shelf.
So yeah, my intention today is to give him a visit, see if I trust him well enough. He was always a good guy. And I would hope to have you guys be there. If nothing else, I can introduce you to him. He's probably needs help cleaning up the back of his shop at some point.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't own like a franchise. He has his own little
it's his baby.
Yeah, radio. Yeah, his little baby shop. He collects Game Station ones and retro tech. You know, all that. It's a nice.
He
little
fixes
place.
people's laptops and old gaming systems, and like spends his time like listening to ham radios and stuff like that.
A quick Google search, or sorry, a quick gaggle search on the iNet will kind of make it a little bit easier to find out where he is, as he's branded it as Donnie's Stereo Yurt, and it's located over in the 4th district. So and I'm sorry, not the 4th district, the 3rd district. I goofed that up really bad. The 3rd district is not loud. Let me look at my notes. There we go. Sorry. I apologize. He's located over in the 6th district, which is funny because you are all in the 6th district right now. He's in this district.
Yep. Which is
so
why
it's not too far away.
It would be fairly convenient to hit him up, because we can. He's close by. Also, it's what time of year is it? Is it warmer?
Not right now. We're getting closer to Iris's winter months.
Okay. In that case, he's more than likely not at the beach, so we'll have a higher chance of finding him in his shop. Yeah. So, everybody who wants to tag along, you're cordially invited. I should say tag along if anybody that wants to.
As it is right now, I have literally nothing but.
Yeah. You know what? That's a good point.
That's true.
Well,
Now,
with
one
that-
thing I will say is the beach is one area that is always magically regulated because of how
Oh.
Iris is. There's
Otherwise, it would be freezing, you know?
Yeah, it would be absolutely freezing up here because they are in the sky. So they generally regulate their
forgotten that.
weather. Yeah. So though they do let the seasons play out so that it feels as it would down below, the beach is one of those areas that they always keep at a smooth, like 80 degrees on a nice day, always sunny, because it's a beach.
Always sunny in Iris.
It's always sunny in that specific spot of Iris. Also, Fway had to go, but we can keep going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something came up.
Oh. No, it's not. I saw that Diddle was in chat. But
I was.
CS wasn't sorry. This was her being like, "Can I join now?" Or she was just.
She messaged me and said, "I got super crazy with work and stuff, so I think I'm gonna end up joining really late. And if I do, I'm just gonna." I was like, "Ditto, it's okay." Like, head pat, it's okay.
Pat.
I was also about to make a joke. It's not necessarily about that Cal has a chill vibe. It's just that he's so preoccupied with the voice in his head that he just can't talk to those people.
He's got no more attention span for anything else.
Really.
The voice in his head keeps telling him weird cryptic poetry, and he can't concentrate.
Now the boys and their mom go to the beach. Either way, getting yourself set up and kind of getting the rest of the day figured out, with everyone all kind of piled together. Valen still doesn't have clothes, but
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, I
actually,
have.
considering, oh yeah, are there like any spare sets of clothes that Valentine was keeping around the place?
yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah,
cast.
I have spare clothes.
That
Yeah,
too.
Marquis not only has spare clothes, but honestly, I would even say that it wouldn't take very much that you could tell that Valentine kind of just kept spare stuff down here. She was almost living down here towards the end of her life. That she had a little nook basically with a cot, and she had a few spare clothes there. And while she's definitely gonna look like she would be 20 years out of fashion, she's definitely able to fit it perfectly.
We're
So,
not
yeah.
we're not here to be fucking trendy. We're here to
Mhm.
make sure she's not naked.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah, 80s, the whole 80s everything denim. Like,
Yes.
is that a
Boy.
denim? Oh my god, is that a denim trench coat? And
I mean,
oh god, 3 packs of hairspray.
Oh.
Classic.
I was about to say some of Cal's like clothing options are kind of like late 80s, early 90s ish, so it's not too far fetched.
Precisely that.
She's gonna pass some
Definitely-
Mean Girls, and they're gonna make some snide comments about her, how she's like a few seasons out of fashion. But we can deal with that.
We can deal with
Yeah.
that.
Laser beam. No.
That's how you deal with
Whips
high
up the
school
Death Star
bullies.
beams.
Yeah, really got the Agent Scully look going right now. Either
Really,
way,
I just fell out of my wheelchair whenever anyone came to see what was going on. I said that they pushed me out of it.
that's rough. That's pretty good.
Oof. You know what? That's
I've always
nice.
been garbage.
Oh man. Nevertheless, newfound Agent Scully aside, we make our way out to the van, and I assume you guys are going to be heading over to Donnie's stereo hut, or sorry, stereo ute.
Yurt.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a yurt. Get it right.
I'm sorry. I have a long list of shit.
You're a garbage GM. I can't believe it.
I know. I can't remember all of these trendy news.
I'm gonna usurp you. How dare you?
Can't believe it, bro.
But
You're an actual garbage man.
I was also gonna suggest a stereo cabin, but I don't know if that counts.
Stereo cabin, either one.
You know
Honestly,
what? That goes off the tongue better than yurt.
yeah, I went stereo hut. But
Hut works too.
Yeah. Either way, Donnie's. you pull up the Gaggle maps and you get everything going after a quick little iNet search, like I said. And now with a clothed Valen, you make your way into the van, get everything settled, and I'm sure Marquis is texting lovey-doveys back and forth, but is overall met with eventually pulling up to a pretty dusty strip mall. The 6th district is a really popular tourist district, but it's mainly for the beach, and a lot of the places aside from restaurants don't get really frequented as much, especially a place like this. And you pull in, there's just street parking. There's no meters or anything, and frankly, there's not a lot of people parked here over this side of town. It's probably only like a 15-minute drive from where you are. Making your way, if you're all going in, the first thing you would notice is that the sign is clearly just like, how do I put this? It's just like he covered the original sign with like a tarp that had his shit written on it.
So, oh god, this is bringing me back to Florida. Jesus.
Yeah. Welcome to Irisian, Florida.
He's the Florida man.
Irisian man.
and I local Irisian man bombs civilians.
No.
Local Irisian man has been seen trying to marry an alligator. More on this at 5.
Oh man. Anyways, as you all would enter into the shop, there would be a little ding as he's tied some bell chimes to the top of it. And stepping on in, this place is just, there is no order here. It is a mess, and that is being nice. The shelves are just kind of stacked haphazardly one way or another. You find an old school toaster oven next to a microwave, next to a game station 2, with such games as Kingdom Cardio and other hits.
Kingdom.
So
That's making me laugh more than it should.
it's stupid. I'm sorry. It's the first thing I came to. Oh, and Mega Gorilla Sphere. That's another one that you find.
Hey.
There you go. And as I said, there is almost no order to this place, and you kind of hear a voice through the music that's being blasted. And the best way I can put it is that there are 3 boomboxes all playing the same song, which could really best be described as like ska rock. Like,
Oh.
yeah,
Best kind of rock.
yeah, ska rock, bro.
Totally counts as rock.
Mhm. And you don't really necessarily hear anything but the music. Now, you are welcome to look around for a little bit, because eventually you would find something. Maybe a bomb. No, I'm kidding.
How about I turn the music off?
Yeah,
Hey, there's a block of C4 in the shelf.
there's a block of C4! No, but
Just what I was missing.
Academic provision and demolitions to use.
We find a pipe bomb. This is a secret tool for later.
Tell me, kids, do you know what the secret tool is?
Oh man. Valen, are you actually turning off some of the stereos?
Yes, they're loud.
Yeah. Upon getting up to one of them, you hit the pause button, it turns off, and you hear, "Bro, what? My mojo's out of whack." And then kind of staggering from what you assumed was the back room, as he kind of pushes his way in. Like, dude, you gotta have 3 stereos going the whole time. You can't appreciate the whole ensemble. Oh, hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, Donnie.
Donnie.
Hello.
Whoa, Jens, how we doing? Sorry, I know you hate that. Dr. Valentina, Genevieve.
I've lightened up since then. You can Well, you can't call me whatever you
you've
want.
lightened up since then. My God, what are we dealing with?
You didn't know me in university.
Oh, Jens was a party girl in university. At least you like to
I-
think she was.
I don't like talking about it.
Oh, she was she?
Oh, yeah, but that's a time for later. What brings you to my...
Alright.
What brings y'all to my surf shack?
Surf Shack.
Oh, yeah, you see, all this is just where I put all my old stuff. Really, I'm working a surf shack out the back, but I also kind of work on the tech and the fun times, you know.
Hobbyist, right? Okay, Donnie. Yeah, no, it is a shop and all, and I apologize. This is we haven't seen each other in like years. Jeez. Kind of came here for a little bit of business, but also wanted to see how you're doing.
Oh,
It's,
well,
uh,
Jen,
Also, a little bit of pleasure is what she's getting at. My.
Marquis, I will gut you.
You already saw my dirty laundry. I get to see yours.
You can see my
That's-
dirty laundry. You cannot be snide about it.
When Genevieve threatens Marquis, he'll kind of go, see, that's the Jens I remember. He was a firecracker. You know, she once put a cigarette out on my arm because I was being a dick.
Yo, me and you both. I use minor illusion to get cigarette burn on my arm.
I just slap him across the back of the head. I don't smoke.
I
I don't anymore, at least.
Anyways, it's good to see you, Jens. Yeah, let's.
You too, Donnie.
What do you got? You need to buy something? I mean, I can probably find
I was actually hoping for a custom order. I need something made.
some made. Oh, well, not
Yeah.
a lot of people ask me for that anymore. What you trying to do?
While this goes on, I like to find another radio and turn it off.
He's more
find the
invested in the
radio
conversation at this point, but you can see him slightly twitch as the music goes out, like he's like my mojo.
This is the guy who brought his own stereo to his university flat, and was always the one in control of it, and always the one playing the music in the flat, and everybody had to deal with that.
Yeah, that's precisely it.
So, she's gonna look around. She's going to, honestly, the best she can do is hope that this place is decently secure. So, I hate to bring up old laundry, but you remember the project, right?
He kind of deflates a little bit. He's like, yeah, not a fun time.
Yeah, well, turns out what they say about history repeating itself is true, and it's coming back to bite us in the ass. It's not your... I'm not going to try and drag you into it. It's not your circus, not your monkeys. And I feel bad enough coming here as it is. So all I'm going to say is she's going to pull out the box, say, we found a little bit of something that Valentine was working. And this here is the power source.
I should clarify.
Hmm?
That crystal you got from Ausar is notably different than the one that Valentine's
Yeah,
that Valentine.
How was it different? Because we never actually got the idea of that.
So imagine that the shards are literally like broken glass.
Hmm.
They a little bit more spherical, but they themselves are broken and they feel like giant hunks of glass. This box specifically, the crystal that's inside has been refined and shaped like a gemstone.
Hmm. Okay.
As to its nature, you don't know.
So, this here, we got our hands on it. To our best estimation, it's some form of crystalline power source. Possibly. What we know is that it was used as a dampening device before we took it out. What I hope is that we'll be able to replicate what it was used for.
He's gonna kind of look at it and then kind of not take it from you, but just kind of put his hand out. You see a familiar, studious look on the otherwise jolly older man, as he's just inspecting it from afar, but waiting tentatively to see it.
She will gently lay it in the palm of his hand.
Jens, what have you gotten yourself into?
I wish I knew, Don. I really do. Things go so much deeper than we thought. And there are people who are taking the stuff we worked on and they are using it for the wrong reasons. I'm trying my best to amend past mistakes. And it's gotten me way in over my head. And everybody else here too.
He'll kind of shake his head and go, I don't think even the people that did use our research are using it for the right reasons, and you know that, Jens. You ducked out before I did.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. There was never a right way to use this stuff. It was a mistake from the beginning, but we went with it because we were making progress. And we were doing things nobody else had managed to do up until that point, and then it just kind of all ran away from under our feet.
Seems that way, huh? Well, anyways, he'll kind of be a little bit more jovial and kind of motion his head to follow him. He goes, I might be able to take a closer look at this, but this is something.
I did have tools. They broke, and so
Well, I'm sure I can find some. Here, you, and you, and he'll point to the rest of the group along with you, Genevieve, and and also you, and he'll do a double take as he points to Valen and go.
Long story.
just kind of
Yeah.
Genevieve is gonna kind of do that sort of guilty quirk up of one side of her mouth and sort of almost a grin, but more just kind of like a tug of the facial muscles. Yeah, it's complicated.
Is that
Almost. You whatever you think it is. Like I said, we found some of Valentine's work.
That's what she was working on, huh? It's weird. Are you her kid?
Close enough.
Valen will turn back. Well, after the second one, she was essentially hunting for the third boombox, presumably.
Yeah, I mean, she at this point, it would be that because so they were on either side of the store, and then the third one was literally behind the counter where he was motioning you all to go, anyways.
So yeah, behind the counter, Valen, kind of picks up that the talking about her. She'll turn and go. Just hit him with the
You know
and
what?
click pauses the other jukebox.
Twitch.
Valen there is the closest thing that Valentine ever had to a daughter.
You know what? I don't want to get any more roped up into some crazy shit than you guys are into right now. That's all I need.
You got every right. I appreciate you even hearing me out at this point. And she'll follow him into the back.
And yeah, as you do, he kind of keeps talking as he's walking. He's like, watch your step. Also, I gotta ask, Jens, you're working with Catboy, Child, Clown, and Valentine too. Yeah?
Let's see.
Technically I'm a wolf man, but close enough.
Yeah,
Close enough. All
So,
right.
yeah, to avoid too many details, because I don't want to get you too sucked into this, all of us have some sort of connection to all the research that was happening. Tessatwari isn't with us, is he?
No, he is probably back
Back at the band.
holding down the fort, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I do have, in fact, a child. totally just a clown. Valentine's daughter, and Kaladin. He's a nice guy. He's from Greshik.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah.
He waves.
What? You look familiar. Did you used to work in like? Oh man,
Bar?
no, yeah, a bar. Were you a bartender? No. Did you used to work out in the 8th district, 7th district? One of them, the one that blew
Somewhere.
up.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I'm with one of the guilds that's in the city. I work out of a little convenience store.
Thought I knew those mutton chops from somewhere. That makes sense. Yeah, I ran around there for some time. Either way, all
I mean to
good.
trim these mutton chops, but that's beside the point.
I've been needing to shave, all right.
Wild man.
Wild man.
I
Either way,
also have about an hour and a half's worth experience being a bartender, but let's not get into that.
it's true. I was a bartender for almost 2 hours and served some of the highest clientele in the city.
Before it all blew up. Literally.
Yeah, that venue really blew up with the kids and all the
Oh,
adults and the older people.
And the building itself.
And a child who ran down a building.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you
Oh god, yeah, Doku's famous. I forgot.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too, as you finally kind of push your way back, and I'm not joking. He has things everywhere. He has just cords hanging from the ceiling, old phones, some tech. But as you get into the back room, you start to notice a little bit more of a mix. He's got old. Oh, I hate to use the word droid, but that's basically what they are. He's got these android heads and these robotic limbs, and clearly some stuff that's generally not gonna be found in a place like this, of the clockwork army, the Irisian mechanized forces. And then kind of strewn throughout also is like a small little workbench where he's been shaping wood and making surfboards. But it seems he's a hobbyist for sure.
And I remember picking out because this is going to be very recognizable, especially to Yimf, I would think. Put him in tavern menu, and then I'm going to briefly put him on stream, and then very quickly retract it. Very quickly retract it so the copyright doesn't. Yeah.
I know that from 2 things, technically.
Yep.
That's our techie boy there. Good old Donnie.
He was also a bear in a woods.
Who
had
Wow, is that Crazy Dave?
It is Crazy Dave.
Yeah.
There he goes.
He's kind of disgraced, but also a dream. Anyway, continue.
Cool guy. Yeah. Eventually, he gets to the back of this little shop, and he pulls up or rather, he stops, grabs a hold of a little ceiling hatch, pulls it down, and dust just falls all over the place. But in doing so, he brings himself to kind of motion. Just like, you don't get a lot of attic space up here, but you get a decent amount for some storage, because they didn't want to spooge for some extra storage space. And frankly, I need a lot of it.
Yeah, I can tell, Donnie. Jesus, your organizational skills have slipped a little bit.
I know where everything is.
And that's all that matters.
See, he gets me. And he just...
Nothing I've hated more ever since university or ever since the project than organized chaos type people. I love you, Donnie. You're a nice man, but this single element about you, besides anything else, infuriates me.
I love you too, Jens. All right, and then he'll just start making his way up. He'll just climb the little ladder.
Oh, up we go. And she will also pull herself up the ladder.
Yeah, one by one, as I assume you all make your way up.
Yes.
Yeah. Up here is a very different sight than downstairs. While there is clutter everywhere down there, this appears to be more of a proper workstation. He's got a bed up here, so it's clear he lives in his shop. And while there's some clothes on the floor and whatnot, he also has an area that's kind of been like, I don't want to say walled off, but separated from the rest of his little living quarters. And he kind of goes, "Yeah, sorry for the mess. I didn't expect a very important visitor today." As he kind of flashes a look towards Genevieve and gives her a little like playful wink, a little like finger gun action.
She's actually gonna,
And
for the first time ever, she's actually gonna just in a sort of embarrassment, just kind of blush.
there we go.
I'm literally holding my tongue.
Literally holding my but he starts rolling up the sleeves of his more ladrin shirt because that's the closest thing we have to a port city here. It's got the traditional Hawaiian patterns on it though.
Mhm.
He kind of starts rolling up his sleeves as he makes way for the area that he's got covered off in basically drapes, and he swings them open and reveals a workbench and a few bits of scientific equipment, soldering irons and all that on top of it. It's clear like a crafting station, but it's definitely made for technology and further advancement in whatever field he was researching prior to leaving the program. And he kind of grabs a hold of a pair of I can't think of the name, basically goggles and magnifying glasses. I don't know exactly
loupe.
what I call it. A loop. There we go. Thank you. He puts them on and then just kind of holding the box sits down in the nearby wheelchair, and as he, not wheelchair, but desk chair, scoots, and as he sits, he uses the force of his sit to zoom him all the way back to his desk, to which he bounces off, goes ugh, and then he turns and he sits this thing here and he's just looking at it, and he's just kind of staring. You can't really tell with this whole little contraption on his face, but he is just not really doing much. He's eventually picks it up and he looks around and goes, "Well, I can't make heads or tails of these, but now let's take a crack at it." And he sets it down and he gets to work. And while he's kind of inspecting the runes and the carvings on the box itself, he's just kind of thinking out loud. "Nah, that's weird. Oh, that's really weird. And I definitely can't read that. Okay. Oh, shit." And he's gonna kind of push the thing away and go, "Jenny, where did you get this?"
You want to know?
I feel like I'm gonna regret my answer. But yeah, at this point,
Okay.
I-
You asked for this.
I did. Well,
Okay. Please don't hate me. It used to belong to Ausar.
he's gonna sit there for a minute.
We got it. Yes, the knight, the Pillar Knight. It was hidden in a compartment in his apartment. We believe, because he had a dampening effect on the area around it, we believed and hoped, while we still had the chance to grab it, that we were able to get whatever was causing that. It was the one secure place in Iris to talk without interruption or espionage. And now it's crawling with knights and police.
Yeah, well, that explains the runes on the damn thing. Jenny, I don't know if you know what you got here.
No, I
But
don't. I was hoping to find out, but then we wrecked the equipment that we were using before to examine it.
yeah. He's gonna kind of take a bit of a serious tone with you specifically and go, "Have you been working with that man? Or are you involved in all that? Because
I,
if what they say on the news is true,
Don,
he's a terrorist."
Don, they said the same thing about Harmus. Harmus
Yeah.
and Ausar are both blameless. Ausar didn't do that, he was set up. We're specifically hoping to clear his name before the execution happens, and to do that we need to be able to plan without giving away our intentions and what we want to do. But to do that we need some way of stopping prying eyes, and that's why we're here, hoping to get that from you. Ausar was not behind the bombing. Someone falsified and impersonated him.
He's gonna kind of take the goggles off and put them on his forehead and just kind of rub his eyes. Ugh.
Someone's trying to sabotage Iris. And they're starting by getting not just a Pillar Knight, but one of the first Pillar Knights.
He's more than that, Jens. You know that.
I know, he's so much more than that, and that's again why it's so imperative, but it'll also be the first time a Pillar Knight has ever been killed, and it will be for sedition, treason, and at the hands of his own kin. You know how that's going to jeopardize Iris in the eyes of the entire world.
Jens, he's gonna pick this thing back up. He's gonna take it off from the little standing bit that he had, pick it up with his hands, and very gently hold it out to you. Not necessarily to take it, but to just kind of explain. Jens, I don't got the research equipment for this. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think there's a lot of places in this city that does have it, but what I can tell you, I can think of one place.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
He's gonna kind of set it back. And he's gonna stand up. He's gonna walk on over out of the room past you all and lift up his mattress with one hand. And under there, he's gonna pull out a tiny little cardboard box. Crushed. Very much so. But even then he'll take it, he'll kind of peep in real quick, make sure it's okay, and then I'll walk on back. And I'll open it up. And in there is just a few things that you can kind of see. He's not hiding it. Old stuff, pictures again, a few pieces of paper, but he kind of just pushes into the side, reaches in and grabs an old lanyard with his younger face on it. And attached to that lanyard is a key card, and goes, I don't know if you already got something like this, but
Her eyes will widen when she sees that. Donna, you sure?
what you got here, Jens? He's gonna kind of shake his head. You weren't around for what we did with the Pillar Knighting, and I don't know why I've given him a southern accent, but it fits now.
Hey,
Um, what I can tell you though is that process was not pretty. I was only there for the experimental phases. I never stuck around to see what they did. You got yourself a hold of a knight's crystal.
shit. Shit.
I don't know how.
Hate it when I'm right.
I don't know how. I don't know where he got it. I don't know if he had it made. But they only made 10 of them. And I was there when they made 10 of them. I helped cut some of these.
In the time that I met Ausar recently, never once did I see him spread his wings. I think he removed his own crystal.
Maybe. I don't know. But if he did, that would have been pretty noticeable. No, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if that's his.
Might be why he's so tired all the time.
Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. But all I can tell you is there were only 10 of these. We cut them all the same. But I don't know any research project or nothing out there that not only got themselves a hold of some iris shards, but shaped them like this. I don't know. And unless there's an 11th night I don't know about, the 11th Pillar Knight, I think you're only going to find one bet. And it's going to be in that lab. So take it. Take this. And he'll just hand it back. And then I'll hand over the lanyard. And go, I don't know what you got yourself on into. And frankly, if you're really wrapped up with Ausar and you believe that he's doing the right thing, I can't say which way. Either which way, but what I can do is know that you got yourself a hold of something that I've never seen. At least not like this. I don't think the knights can remove their crystals, gens. And if they can, it'll be the first time it's ever been done. Ever. To put into perspective what we were planning, these crystals were supposed to be like a phylactery. If their bodies broke down, we could just pop them into another body.
So if we...
I don't know what this is, but you need to be careful. Very careful.
Can you tell if there's already a consciousness in it?
I didn't stick around long enough to find out if I could or couldn't.
She's gonna freeze? God, Primrose. Anyway, okay. Curiosity aside, honestly, the most cheap and dirty way to figure out if this thing has a consciousness in it would be to insert it into a new body. That failing, if it's empty and this is Ausar's and he is executed, that could be a backup plan, but God knows I do not want it. Genesis knows I never want it to come to that. But this, again, more questions than answers. She takes the two items, she'll hold them to her chest, she'll shove them in her pockets, and then just hug and profusely thank him. Just speaking to me right now has put you at so much risk. I'm so sorry.
I've been done for worse. It's just how I live. But, gens, and I'll kind of lean over to a calendar that's like posted up on the wall. And it'll go, it was exactly. Oh man, it was about 17 years ago on the dot that you rejected me for a date.
I was an idiot.
What to say?
If you ever
If you
find
didn't say yes, I might.
See, I like that one.
Yeah, he's a real smartass.
Oh yeah.
This is better than being told this.
He knows.
Tell you what,
Either
Bonnie,
way.
if I come out of this alive, and we're both hale and hearty, and Iris is in a smoking crater, I will personally pay for dinner.
Well, I can't let you do that now, but I'm gonna hold you to it. Either way, you take it easy now, gents. And hey,
Well, I can't do that. Duty's not done yet, but
I know.
sentiments appreciated all the same.
He'll just kind of. I'm sorry. Go on.
I hope your surf business gets off the ground.
Oh, I hope so. I've been meaning to catch some waves. I can't surf for the life of me, but I love the idea.
That passion is what made you one of the best of us.
They only kept me around because I had a steady hand. Nevertheless, you take it easy, be safe. Take it easy as nice as you can. And they'll kind of lean in. And you be careful now. And he'll take the crystal and he'll pull out one of your hands. He'll put it into yours, put his other hand over top of it, and go, and I mean it. You need to be real careful with what you're getting into.
I will. Best I can. Already had far too many close calls as of late. But time is pressing. Ausar's execution is in 4 days now.
Oh, and you didn't hear it from me, but it's going to be a big thing.
Oh, wonderful. They're making a big example out of it.
Yeah, that sounds about right, and let's be honest. They're gonna have to anyways.
Yes, they can't exactly keep the death of the first Pillar Knight hush-hush.
Well, not only that, but... Listen, I know what these crystals are capable of. If they store your soul with enough bonding time, they can just live forever. We made... Well, for lack of a better term, gents, we made immortality possible.
Yeah, we wanted the Eternal Protectors, I guess, and then we got them. You want to make a Pillar Knight dead. That's... I can imagine what goes into them.
Cough, cough.
She looks very troubled at the moment. It's not entirely to do with the conversation, as she's just semi-distracted now. She then, again, gives him another squeeze and a hug and says, "Thank you. I promise I'll stay in touch."
Yeah, you better now. Don't get killed. And, at least try not to.
Despite everybody's best efforts. Hoping we can make things right. And she holds up the key card and says, we have the passcode. Had it for a while. It's never been able to get a key card. You have given us a chance. Thank you.
Now you go on, get out of here now. I never saw you. But
I never
saw you.
I never spoke to you. They ask, you weren't involved.
Oh yeah. Take something on the way out, so it looks like y'all just bought some.
Pick up a toaster.
Oh, very good. I love them toasters. Be careful though. One of them is alive.
I pick up one of the jukeboxes.
Just begin loading the van with fucking free shit.
Guys, come on.
Actually, yeah, this is free. You got like a waffle maker?
Waffle maker. And he's gonna dig around. This is after you've left, by the way. Got downstairs, back into the clutter. He's gonna go. Waffle maker is over an E7. He's gonna just immediately walk to a random direction, stick his hand into a pile, feel around for a little bit, and pull out a really dusty old waffle maker with what is attached to it instead of a handle being like the finger of one of those mechs that was out there. Goes, I done fixed it myself.
Better than nothing.
Y'all take care now.
A
Take care,
waffle
Donnie.
maker.
Real quick, before you go and before any of us go, were you able to recognize any of the runes in that cube at all, or no?
Oh, well, that's magic. I'll be real with you. That's a good thought you got there. Well, if I'm being honest, no, but I can make an assumption. What it probably was a series of different magical runes all tied into each other. You said it made like what?
A dampening.
Magic dampening field?
It stopped magic and it stopped communication.
Sounds a lot like multiple magics to me. Someone was putting a little bit of weaving in on their spells. What I can tell you, you're just kind of thinking about it. Probably something to do with all of those. Silence, all them type of spells. I ain't no magician. Never have been. Magic scares me. I know how things go zappy zap, and I know how to make them turn on, but...
Yeah, I was already kind of unsure when I started going into Genesis. I was always more the biology major.
Yeah, it's all works out one way or another. What I can tell you, though, what I can absolutely tell you, it's Genesis powered. I mean, at least most of my work was in that field, but that's old magic. That ain't nothing that we do nowadays. That's older than half the stuff in this damn store, if not all of it combined.
And
So,
this is when we learn we have to go to Rashiki.
well, if y'all are going to Greshik, good luck trying to find it.
I mean,
That's a trip.
I could always ask somebody I know to bring us there. It's been a while since I've been back there, but I've been there.
You've been there?
Yeah, I used to live there when I was younger.
You used to live in Greshik? You know how damn hard it is to get out of Greshik?
Me and my family were able to make do with what we got.
More power to you. That's impressive. Yeah, you'd have to cross the border and everything, though. It has gotten a little bit harder in recent years, huh? Well, you might just have to, because I ain't seen nothing like this in a long time. Maybe you might be able to find someone who can help you with that, but you want my scientific guess? They probably done put some magic in there that all work together. Silence, perpetuating it, whatever it may be. Makes sense, but that's old magic. I work with new magic. And he pulls up the soldering iron, he just zap zap. You know, that little fire.
Alright, so we're gonna have to get some sort of expert on old magic.
I doubt it, but out of curiosity's sake, since I'm more aware, do the funny markings look any interest to me? I highly doubt it. I figured as much.
They really don't. Though I would say that, admittedly, Tesso Tuare would probably know a thing or two about this, but right now he's holding down. Yeah, he's holding down the fort, but that's okay. The question is, as y'all kind of leads you out, he waves goodbye. You know, thanks you for coming and whatnot. Let's do a quick bio break. We probably have like another 30 minutes, maybe an hour of a session.
We're 2 hours in, so yeah.
Another hour, maybe even an hour and a half then.
Grim's been asking some questions.
Oh, I did not notice.
About particular, specifically about the, because he's always been an aficionado of all things lichdom. So the mention of phylactery probably really triggered his primal instincts.
You know what? I get it. I get it. I get it.
So,
So,
to clarify, the knights themselves don't have this crystal. There are only 10 knights who do, and those are the pillar knights. And those basically act as soul fuels and phylacteries at the same time. So the longer that it's integrated with them, the more of their personality gets clicked into it. And in doing so, eventually, if their body were to die, you could yank the crystal and put it in a new host.
Cries my 8 intelligence. Cries my 8 intelligence. Cries my 8 intelligence. Anyways,
you know, it might be for the best, all things considered. Anyway, so we've got yeah, okay, yeah, bio break. So everybody can scatter, go get a drink, stretch your legs. I am gonna go grab a drink, actually.
More fire in them.
I hate that I know diddly darn well I'm on Matt's ass when it comes to the story. I'm on it. I know it. But I 8 intelligence.
I will say that every idea that's been thrown at me from everybody could have some merit, but I don't think anyone's hit the nail on the head yet, so that's always good. Anyways, I'll be back.
No, Matt, you're wrong.
Yeah, GM, fucking what do you think you know about the world?
Yeah, what do you think? I know the story better than you do.
Let's see here.
There's so much, man. Anyone here?
Yeah, I'm here, and I'm also about to Dragon Ditto.
I
Woo!
did.
Howdy.
Yeah, there we go. Your Fuji.
What's it called? But yeah, mostly this to you. There's so much I want to say. My brain's working overtime, but I can't say anything. I mean, I can, but I can't say the way I want to say it. I really can't say it.
Oh man, say it.
Well, no, because intelligence. The evaluation
I mean,
cannot.
that doesn't stop anything, you know.
Yes.
You
Yes,
can always just say it like out of character.
I can say out of character, but it feels cheaty because someone else will, latch on to it.
Not necessarily, because like the thing is, right? Just because, like the amount, or at the very least, this is how I see it, right? Even if the amalgamation isn't necessarily the one you think it, you have other characters who have high intelligence, and so like a lot of times, whenever I hear someone say something, I'm like, oh yeah, it's really smart, and then I bring it into character. It's like, well, yeah, fucking my character should also be able to think about that as well.
Well, if you want to, fine.
I mean, it's at the end of the day, right? It's all up to you.
Correct.
You're the boss.
Long story short, what's it called? What's his name? Luffy quite said, yeah, those things are phylacteries. You can kind of plug and play with them. And with our current assumptions that Ausar removed his crystal, and it's plug and play, that actually might have been Ausar. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, I know. It might. That's kind of where it was going at. But the thing is about it all is that we have no real way of actually figuring that out.
Correct. But
Like the only other way is that if we create a body, or if we were to put it into you. But like, I don't think anyone really wants to do that.
out of character, I know what will happen, and
Yeah.
No.
'Cause-
You can go to a body shop, build one.
Doku, we're using you for science experiments.
No. You just got this consciousness.
It's 16. It's middle school science test all over again. We're gonna experiment on the frog.
Let's not dissect the frog.
We're
We're
not.
dissecting Doku. Why are we cutting open Doku?
why
Because
not?
we're in middle school science class.
Apparently, Sam
God.
wants to
Why
use
not?
the frog as a test dummy for the night crystal.
No, I don't. I'm too dumb for that. Don't worry
I
about
said
that.
Sam does, not the amalgam.
You're right.
Sam just admitted to being too dumb for that.
Also, hello, Ditto.
Hello.
Don't exist.
Why did you say "Oh no, Primrose"? By the way,
Because there's a ghost in Primrose's armor at the base of her neck, where the crystal is.
yeah, I'm glad you.
What if what if Evil Worf wants to use the armor as a way of perpetuating himself, using potentially Primrose's body? Horror ensues.
Oh man.
I can't
Yeah, I
tell,
don't know
if,
if you
and
realized
now I
that-
don't know if I've given him an idea or if that was
You
the
giving
point
him
all
an
along.
idea. You giving him an
Because that,
idea.
I make that chuckle when I've been given ideas or when people are commenting onto my bullshit.
Oh no, nothing like that. Ah.
Yeah, fuck it. I might as well spill the beans. I don't know if you heard what I said, Remy, to Yim.
Hmm? What was that?
What we've just been told by what's his name? Your soon to be BF boyfriend.
Oh yes, by Donnie. Yes.
Yeah, those core crystals are like phylacteries. They kind of store your personality. You can, when a body dies, they can be inserted to another one. Essentially, plug and play. and with our current thesis of Alsar not removing his crystal, what if this Lord inserts his somehow into Alsar? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
So you're thinking somebody is currently body writing Upsar?
It could be a possibility at that party that could have been Alsar, or at least his body.
I could. Yeah, but didn't Primrose scan for magic and he didn't register as a knight?
Yeah, like that was
Yeah.
the main.
I
He
guess
didn't
so.
register for any
So
sort of
if that
genesis.
is the case, then something funky was happening. But as
Yeah,
far as like
he-
assumptions for now, that doesn't seem to be the case.
It doesn't seem to, but it's definitely by all accounts, by the rules Matt has provided, should be a possibility. By possible of the rules he's creating.
It's a
Nevertheless,
possibility.
you've got, like I said, I've heard a lot of different possibilities, and people have gotten close. People have been far off, but no one's hit the nail on the head.
Reason still be.
What did you say?
I'm playing Fire Emblem in the background.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, it's so Fire Emblem. The Three Houses has this recruitment mechanic, right? Where you can recruit characters from other houses to join like your class, basically, and you're able to use them. They're now like main units and everything. And there's these two characters that I'm trying to get, but in order to recruit them, you need to have high enough skill and high enough associated stat to go with it. And this one chick that I'm trying to recruit is a magic caster who wants really good reason and really good magic. And you can lower those requirements by becoming friends with them, by giving them gifts and talking to them, being like, yeah, we're buddy. And I'm really working on it so that I can lower those requirements down.
Oh man. Well, if we're all here, Ditto, are you gonna be jumping in? Ditto died. That's wild, bro.
Ito dead. Dead.
It's fine. I loved her while she was here.
In the arms of... Copyright. Can't go any further.
Hi, how's it going, Dit?
Hi. I didn't die. I just didn't know what to say.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh.
You don't have to if you're not feeling up to it. And if you are, that's great. You are more than welcome. If you're not, you can just chill.
Chilling is a valid option.
Okay. Bernadetta, what the fuck do you want, lady? A watering can and a stuffed bear. I can give you both of those.
I think I would like to just chill.
Okay, then just chill. You have your nice little bench is and there you go. You can just chill today.
Yay.
If everyone else is ready though, we can continue because now it seems like you guys are going back. Doing something you guys were gonna do anyways.
Pretty much.
Alright. Well then I shall continue. So, getting yourself all shuffled out and making sure that everything is going to be all a-okay. You climb back into the van, and now you have to decide, do you go now or do you wait? Because if you're going to be heading back over to the 7th District, it is not very far, I will say that. But some things that you would all just be completely aware of. You're in the 6th District right now. It is a 15-minute drive to the 7th District. The 7th District is still on lockdown, and there are guards at the gates. So, unless you have a clear reason to get in, or you know another way in, which could be possible with some of your contacts, then you'd have to either sneak in, or get a really good guard disguise. Also, the 8th District is still a hot spot. It's only been 1 or 2 days since Alsar. It was 2 days since Alsar has been captured. While the guards aren't going super crazy, there is still an increased guard presence. So how do you all want to do this?
We're going to use one of Jake's I know a guys.
Lasers.
I was about to say that could be a good idea, but
I will say, Jake, the guild that you used to work for, or still work for, I suppose, their main hub was in the 7th district. It did burn down, but it was there.
you could look there,
If you
or at
wanna-
least
if you want to make a history check, I could. Not even a history check. Actually, yeah, no, it would probably be a history check. Are you decent at history checks?
I have a +0 to them, so
Well, I would say either. No, I think really history is the only one that I could really find any reason for. Though you might not even really have to. I leave this up to you. You would know that, at least because of your guild's presence in the 7th district, that to get things around as merchants, they had merchant tunnels, basically. And they ran all across the city. Specifically in the 7th district, as that was their main hub, but you would probably have to roll a decent history to see if you remember where any of those exits were, because then you'd have to make those exits into entrances, which obviously wouldn't be that hard. You just have to walk in.
alternatively, I could also use an I know a guy and just say, "Hey, I remember this one engineer guy that I used to talk to."
And that absolutely also works. I do want to clarify with the I know a guys. Charisma I know a guys can be, friends, whatever, whomever, and then intelligence I know a guys are stuff like, oh, this guy was my boss, this guy was a research companion, this guy. So it's up to you. Everybody gets at least 2, because they get 1 intelligence and 1 charisma one. I've changed my mind a little bit on that. So
Let's study something real quick.
77. So if you want to use an I know a guy, by all means.
Okay. So remind me how that works again, because I think it's been a bit of a hot-ish minute since we last used one.
Well,
We
that's
just
okay.
did.
Yeah, it's actually.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Basically what you're gonna do is what is your charisma score and what is your intelligence score?
My charisma is an 18, and my intelligence is a 10.
You'd
So-
have at least 1 connection with like a professional contact, and 4 connections with a social contact.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then you can just make them up right now. You could literally be like, yeah, I remember Jim Bob. He worked over in this place. He did this, and I will fill in the blanks.
Oh yeah. So in that case,
Sure,
in that case,
you know
yeah,
a guy.
Cal remember a buddy of his, one of little engineers who worked down in the guts of some of the some of the more like technical guild associated buildings. A little dwarven man by the name of Frogy.
Frogy. I like that.
Yeah, Frogy.
Rogi Frumpins.
Froggi.
Taking that. All right, perfect.
Or I guess actually 1G. Yeah, 1G. Frogi. Yeah.
Froggy. Yeah, no, Froggy.
Froggy.
Hold on. Oh, I just got something in my mind. Hold on.
That works good with me. Were you guys close?
Fairly close, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
pretty
right.
close. Yeah. They always meet up to chat every chance they got. Meet up at bars every now and then.
Makes sense. Well-
Tavern menu. I don't know why this is a song that came to mind. Do that with what you will.
Frogs. It kind of works. I dig it. Yeah, you know what? That's perfect. One thing that you do specifically remember is that Frogy was not a a man who liked the big, bombastic parties. He was gruff, he was tough, and he had a heart of gold, but much like a lot of dwarves, very, very dead set. And in those ways, he really had a penchant for dive bars. And the best place, and you remember him saying this at one time, the best place to find a dive bar is in the dangerous parts of town. The most dangerous place you can think of would be a dive bar in the 10th district.
Hmm. Hey,
And
anyone up for a bit of a bar crawl?
going back into the 10th district. I think everyone died.
Oh, nope.
I'm sorry, I zoned out there for a second. What was the question?
Jinx,
Where exactly are we going bar hopping?
Simple. I think I know somebody who can help.
All right then.
The best place I know, and I think one of the best places I know where to find him is at a bar.
All right then.
Alright, sure, let's go. But just so you know, Genevieve, I'm keeping an eye on how much you drink.
Look, I know I'm teetotal. I swear. I swear I'm teetotal.
Oh man. Well, that sets you in to your your new location. At least an idea of one. From what you all will remember from the last time you visited the 10th district, you almost got your wheels stolen, you got set up for a crime, you got away from said crime, you met up with a pillar knight who then spoke to Eugene about coming to a party, which inevitably blew up because Eugene liked to sell drugs. Subsequently, you also stayed in his drug den van. Or sorry, his drug art. But it's daytime now, and the drive over there isn't going to be more than like 30 minutes. It's probably about that, actually, considering where you guys are. Yeah, sounds about right. So, making your way back onto the highway, little traffic. It's the middle of the week, people are working, and life goes on in the city of Iris as it always does. Inevitably, you get off at that familiar exit, and you pass by that same little street market. All the tents are back up, people are working, including an oh-so-infamous one, where you see a very tired, small Kenku boy carrying heavy boxes into the back of a tent. But as you kind of drive around to find this dive bar, y'all are gonna have to get a little social with it. There's only a few actual businesses that really are on the up and up here. And this is where I'd say you guys might have to ask around.
I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
You talking to other people?
Since Marky insisted he was keeping an eye on me, I'll stick with him. I'm not gonna be of much help though.
Yeah, where do you guys park?
Preferably someplace that won't get my fucking wheels stolen.
No, see, what we do is we put a popular gang symbol on the side of your van.
Oh yeah, that totally won't get it, I don't know, blown up or full of lead.
It's better than your real wheels being stolen.
It's either my wheels get stolen or my entire van just gets trashed in totality.
Well, I will
What we
say
could
that
do is we could slash your tires before they...
one thing that I will say that you could probably do is that you do remember that the Lemon Kids did live around here in a warehouse.
Right. They had a little warehouse congregation.
And they did kind of agree that they wouldn't steal your wheels anymore because you were friends with Doku and Doku was cool.
We paid them like $3.
Which is like $1 million in kid money.
That's true. But do keep in mind, these kids rob people.
Yep.
So. Oh man.
I give him a rock, paint it gold.
That you could also do. Nevertheless,
I get him a laser beam.
No child murder
not yet. Anyways,
yet.
I'm kidding. That is one place you could go. Alternatively, you could just park in front of where you parked last time, which was the market near Benku.
Too many people.
Hmm.
Also, Benku is an asshole.
Also, fuck Benku.
Yeah, fuck that bird.
Man, we just don't have good connections here.
No, this district is our bane for anybody but Doku.
That's true.
I know a guy.
Actually, speaking of which, Doku could possibly ask some of the kids.
Ain't that a thought? Also, admittedly, Eugene would know their way around here too.
But they're currently passed the fuck out.
Yeah, they're currently sleeping.
Just a minor
But-
stupor.
Yeah. If you want, though, you could try and see what the kids are up to.
Are the kids all right?
Are the kids all right? All the other kids pumped up kicks.
Better run.
Oh,
But I leave that up to you, Genevieve.
outrun my firebolt now.
Yeah.
Um,
I leave that up to you, Genevieve. Where are you
Actually,
parking? Are you gonna drive
that
up?
considered, we may as well roll up to that warehouse.
Mhm.
Tell them to be cool. Just what do we call it? Maybe tip them a little bit to make sure they don't jack my wheels.
That's fair. All right. Doku, are you here?
Doku.
Lynn, I swear to God. Sully!
Yes, I'm here.
There we go. Hi. You're meeting up with the Lemon Kids. They need an envoy.
Oh, what's up?
Yeah, this guy helped make myself look
We
like...
need you.
Oh, okay.
Presence is requested.
Your
Well,
presence is
yeah, we
requested.
we want to ask around, and well, this is a good opportunity for Doku. Also, Doku's the only person with positive contacts in this district.
Yeah, they made it to the 10th district, and they decided that they're looking for a dive bar, looking specifically for a guy named Frogy, and they are parking their van at the warehouse where the Lemon Kids and company live, and they don't want to go in and talk to them, so it's up to you.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go talk to the 11 kids.
Okay, well, as you all pull up.
Lemonites.
As you pull up to the Lemonite stronghold, you saunter in after you pull your van up outside the warehouse, and it's very quiet. And as you pull up and everyone kind of gets adjusted, I don't know, does anyone else jump out of the van and just like stretch their legs, or are they
No, I'm good.
just Doku?
I'm just saying, I got no reason to leave.
I
That's a
step
fool's
out.
errand.
It's a fool's errand.
See, I'm half tempted to, but at the same time, I don't know.
I leave that decision up to you.
It's probably fine.
Fair.
You look more
Well, if
human
no
now.
one else jumps out, yeah. Wait, what'd you say, Genevieve?
I said she looks more human now, so no.
That is true. Well, if no one else is gonna jump out but Doku, as Doku jumps out, you hear just like a, "Oh, Doku!" as from the rooftops you see two of the Lemon Trio, both the twins, whose I really just realized that I lost my notes on their names. Oh no.
Lemon
Lynn-
Kids.
Billy and Thomas.
There it is. Yeah, Millie, Billy, and Thomas. That was it. Thank you. It's Billy and Thomas, and they're both up top waving at you. One of which is waving a giant rock over their head. Clearly they were prepared to throw it
Yep.
onto your van.
I'd surmise.
Yeah,
is a
Lord of the
cool-
Flies style. I respect that.
Yeah.
Of course you
Holy
would.
shit!
Ah,
Little
and
fucking ragamuffin.
yeah, exactly. They start clambering down, and as they come down, I'm not joking when I say at least 25 other children come out from the woodworks. They come out from the sewers, they come out from the dumpsters, they came out from behind the boxes. A few, and I mean just like 2, actually came out from the warehouse. And eventually there was just a horde of dirty children surrounding Doku.
Should have stopped at the gas station and got some snacks.
Yeah.
No,
And
you never
Had some
feed them. They'll
cookies for 'em at
come
least.
back.
you never feed them or they'll keep coming back.
Well, it wasn't to feed them. It was
You don't.
wasn't to feed them. It was to bribe them.
Eventually, as Doku kind of steps out, they all go, "Oh,
He's the Messiah.
you're the skyscraper kid! Yeah, you're the skyscraper kid! I knew it was you, Doku!" And then pushing through these crowd of children, um, probably all around like 12, 15, Millie steps out, who kind of like pushes them aside and goes, "Doku, it's good to see you. I don't know why you're here, but it's good to see you. You're very popular now. I saw the Tic Tacs, everyone did, and we all knew it was you.
Awesome.
You're very popular."
I love the Tic Tacs.
All of our Tic Tacs.
Fucking Tic
Doku has become the Messiah.
Yeah,
Doku doesn't do autographs.
Doku doesn't do autograph. That's okay. Yeah, we're actually all trying to beat your record right now.
Actually, no.
Wait, what?
Doku does do autograph.
Beat
A
record.
5
What?
syllable.
Beat the record. It's just like immediate alarm. It's like beat the record. Wait, what?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
an instant horror image in our head of like 100 children just falling off the side of a building.
So
They forget that people forget
You fucking
that
lemming.
that
The lemon-
Doku was
the
caught
lemon-
by the amalgamation.
Yeah.
true.
I remember kids.
The lemon children become lemming children.
They really do. Anyways, Billy
You
and
want
Thomas.
the skyscraper kids autograph? It's 5 syllable piece.
Did you actually say that out the window?
Yes, I do.
Oh my god!
We need money.
No, you don't. Anyways,
Correction, you need money.
yeah, you need money. The kids kind of look at you, and one of them picks up a wrench.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
Pull
He's
out
cool.
my gun.
Okay, Doku, whatever you say.
Stop the prank! Stop!
Yeah. just
a prank, bro.
Picks up a wrench. Doku's like,
sure
whoa, 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 whoa.
I like to peer out the window just to watch
Uh,
the younglings.
Yeah, this is when Millie will kind of turn and go, "Yes, these are Doku's friends, the ones who I thought were gonna kidnap him and then we were gonna beat them to death later. Yeah, no, turns out they're actually really cool. We're not gonna steal their catalytic converters. We're not gonna steal their tires. Just everyone come on in. We're gonna have a catch up. Doku, come on. They want to show you. I'm sure they're very excited, but we have lots to talk about." And the horde of children that is surrounding Doku all just begin moving inside the warehouse regardless of what you care. Like they keep
Doku
pushing.
raises his hands, allows himself to get swept away.
Yeah, they just carry you as the messiah of the street children. Once you're inside, you actually get to see the full scope of this place. The best way I can describe it is sheet metal huts that have all kind of been built up in this strange favela style commune of these children who are living out here.
Interesting.
Ah.
Yeah, they definitely not put together well, but these kids are living here. Like they've turned this one warehouse into a tiny community. And that's when Billy kind of nudges you and goes, "Doku, look it over there." And he points to the wall where there's just like multiple, I want to say chalk marks is the best way to put it. And they don't go up very far. Like the tallest one is probably a little bit taller than Millie's height, and he grabs you by the arm, specifically avoiding your skin, and starts dragging you that way and goes, "See, this is where we test it. We try and see how high we can get before we fall."
Oh,
How do you do
what's the record?
that one? It's like a foot. Like a foot taller than you. It's like not at all. They cannot run up buildings.
I can't even be
Yeah,
mad at
Dennis.
I can't even be mad at Doku. I would say that he made a bad impression on the children, but he's a child himself.
That's very true.
Making a
Doku,
bad impression on his friends, I guess.
Doku, you gotta show us. You gotta show us how we gotta do it. Yeah, I can't understand it. And Dennis broke his nose last time, and it was very funny. It wasn't funny. You know? I think he's being a bit.
Valen is very watching. Getting, not exactly sure why, but feels very compelled to keep an eye on what the hell's about to go on.
Can you do it, Doku? Can you run up the walls? Can you still do that?
Doku can show a demonstration.
Doku can do.
The
Doku
children,
can hold a master class.
the children begin to form a half circle as Thomas and Billy go, "All right, stay back. Let the man do his work."
Valen very quickly is in the crowd towards the front.
Watch
Not,
where you going, you stupid stinky nutter. Hey, you're tall. Shrink.
she sits.
Hey, you're short. Grow.
All right, Doku. Do you demonstrate in front of your flock?
Yes. Doki says no flash photography. And then he proceeds to he proceeds to walk onto the wall, just walk just all the way up as high as it goes.
Literally,
And then he walks on the ceiling.
literally the moment that you put one foot on the, like, you haven't even really started climbing it yet. You put one foot on the wall, they go, "Yeah!" Just immediately cheering and screaming. And as you continue to go up, the screaming becomes less like, "Oh my god, he did it," and more of ah, ooh, and how the fuck is he doing that?
underneath Doku, Val is kind of nearly directly underneath.
Yeah, no. The whole time, as you said, no flash photography, like 10 of the kids have pulled their phones out and they're just like recording you.
Doku
There's a
will remember your
flash. I'm
faces.
getting 5 silverman skins.
Doku will remember your faces.
I feel like that's a threat.
They put their phones
Not
down.
a threat, it's a promise.
Doku will remember. Okay, and they put their phones down. But while that's all going on, you hear Millie, because the way that this whole place is set up is it's not just a giant empty warehouse. The second floor of the warehouse is kind of like an overhang structure. There's staircases, metal staircases that lead up to that second floor. And it's like where the old office was, the not necessarily more storage, but just kind of like banisters that people could rest on while they were overseeing the movement of when this warehouse was actually, in use. And a lot of the kids that weren't down with the rest of them have kind of positioned themselves up top. There's like 6 or 7 of them up there, and Millie's up there. And from that to the ceiling, it's probably like a 5-foot drop. And Millie's looking at Doku, and eventually goes, "Doku, this is great, and I'm very happy, and it's very cool, and I would actually really much like to know how to do that. But um, uh, did you come the other reasons? Because we have a bit of a problem, and I'd like to talk to you about it."
And upon hearing that, Doku will just hop off the ceiling, walk like a normal person over to Millie.
Oh, good. Just boom, dunk, dunk, dunk. Once again, yeah. Just walking. Um, and then you hear Billy and Thomas down below, just kind of like, "All right, you nutters, get out of here! You can't use my word. Shut up!" And then Millie picks up a rock, and goes, "One moment," and then throws it down at them, and clocks Thomas in the head. It's like a pebble. Goes, "Both of you knock it off. Now go, please. We have stuff to do." Anyways,
Millie has become more ferocious.
Millie has
Someone stress Valen. I want to shoot a laser.
I want to shoot a laser. I'm gonna do. If you do that, these kids are gonna be scared, possibly attack you, or think it's really cool. But I digress. Millie's gonna go. Come on, we can go into the office as she kind of starts walking along the little bridge joining the top sections into a metal door. She opens it up and kind of steps on inside, and in here, um, it's kind of actually more like a makeshift freezer. They've gotten like refrigerators basically, and they've kind of just attached them all and made just a storage space for food. They're for what these children have done, it is impressive
Oh yes.
that a lot of this stuff works. Um, but it's very ramshackle at best. Like a strong wind could possibly blow over most of their houses. Doku, do you know anything about uh, the 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 men who've been wearing all those black robes recently? Do you have anything to do with that?
Black robes.
Yeah, the so a few days ago, um, well, you remember when we went to your friend's like van house thing and we
Yeah.
followed you all? Well, he hasn't been using it, and so we've been using it a little bit. We don't go in, but it's just kind of become a little meeting spot for us. Because we know that eventually you'll come back, and if we need to get a hold of you, well, then we'll go there, and hopefully you'll come back. But well, the other night we had a bit of a it was a bit of a scare. Um, I I went out with a few of my friends, and we went out to kind of show off. We were hoping to meet up with you, and well, we didn't. But we saw these three men. They were very tall, and they had on these black robes, and at least I thought they were robes, and it was very strange. And they had on these white masks.
Sounds suspiciously like a cult.
I didn't get a good look at them, but my friend Jeremiah did, and Jeremiah said that they had these horns, and 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 it was very strange.
White
Um,
mask. Genevieve is going to kind of give a meaningful look to to Marquis and then to Caladan.
Dennis gives a sort of nod, and as he does that, I'm going to be right back in just a second.
Okay.
Doku thinks that this might have something to do with the what's that place called? The High Priestess Hotel. No, the party place.
Oh, that was the Lucky Sevens casino. And hotel. Yeah, I'm just gonna call that the casino. Um, are you talking specifically about the um?
The one room that Eugene went in, left, and they said that he stole something from them. And Doku, I think, went into that same room and took a coin.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what was on that coin?
Yeah.
That detail I do not remember.
No, it was the
It was
it's the
skull, I
ancient,
believe, on one side.
it's the ancient emblem of Iliaster's primal.
Not just Iliaster's primal. It was the
It's a-
same symbol that was on the Primal's book. Just
Yeah.
the Primal symbol in general.
Right. Yeah. This is it was the primal symbol. One we think is connected to Iliaster, because that same room had an exit burned out with blue flame. If that's the case, these may be the same.
Well, all I can say is they burnt it down.
That sounds like something Iliaster's group would do.
I don't know for sure, but they came in the night, and well, frankly, we wouldn't have even noticed it. But they were very, very angry. We took our tunnels. We made it out of there, but well, I'm afraid what might have happened if they caught us. And it was. Ever since then, we've been noticing them around the district more. It's like they're looking for something, and well, they stopped by here just yesterday, but they didn't find what they were looking for, and frankly, we all hid. When they stepped in, they just kind of went quiet, and we told Uncle Rorik about it, and it was scary, but he promised to make sure that he'd be flying by a bit more, to just make sure that we were safe. But I don't know what you did to these people, Doku, but I'm afraid that they might be looking for you and your friend.
Oh no, Doku's completely safe. They're looking for Eugene.
Oh. Oh. Is that the one who owned the RV?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Who's gonna be the one to
He
break
has-
the news to him?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, only Doku has this news right now. So Doku would have to be the one to break the news.
Doku takes it for the team.
Well,
Oh,
imagine you just don't tell me, says Ditto. No one tells them.
Yeah,
Doku's
don't-
very non-confrontational.
Oh, well.
Dokugo, this sounds like a lot of issues.
That's rough. Anyways, I don't care. What?
Doku has recently picked up speaking in the third person.
Doku has suddenly started speaking in the third
Doku
person.
likes it.
Doku likes it.
Doku enjoys the looks of confusion.
Oh man.
Yes.
I mean,
Just so long as you're safe. I don't know if they're looking for your friends then or your friend Eugene. But they're I don't see them very often, but they do come out at night and they generally walk around in groups of 3.
Mhm.
They don't come around here anymore. Uncle Rorik usually takes his night watch up on our roof just to make sure that we're okay. So, just be careful, Doku.
Now I don't want to speak in the third person.
Now I don't want to speak in the third person.
Being hunted, I am.
Doku will be careful.
Okay. Well, that's good. Anyways, was there any reason that you came by, or was it just to show off?
Oh, yeah, we were looking for this one guy named Froggy, possibly at some sort of deep dive bar thingy.
Deep
Yeah.
dive?
Actually, we're not there, are we?
No, you're not. It's literally only Doku and the Amalgamation who walked in and sat down and watched, but the Amalgamation hasn't been following. At this point, the children are probably looking at the Amalgamation and going, "What the hell is that? Like, why are you kind of sticky? Like, why your clothes look so old?"
Yes, keep pestering. Keep pestering.
If Valen lasers the children, there will be words.
There will be more than words. There's gonna be a pillar knight on your ass.
That too. Yes.
Yeah, no.
Or several, you never know.
Yeah. I don't know of any. Well, we don't really go out there very much, but I know that there's. I don't know a man named Frogy. But well, maybe if he's into the shady places, he might be over behind the factory at the old silo. There's a little hangout spot in there. We used to hang out there, but then a bunch of guys came in and they started setting things up in there. It's out of the way, but there's I could help you get there.
That would be very helpful.
Okay. And then she's gonna kind of lean over to see the children pestering Val and go, "Oi! Leave her alone! Go home! Do something with your lives! Also, Thomas! What? You smell! Go shower! Go bathe!" He grumbles, and the children begin to separate from Valen. And then as she calls down, she goes, "And I'll be back! I'm going with Doku and her van friends." And then Thomas and Billy go, "No, I want to go with Doku too. No!" And this argument begins again. And as Millie reaches down for another rock, they go, "Okay, fine." And then they just scatter again. Millie turns to Doku and goes, "Okay then. You can leave your van here if you like, or you can pull it in. Uncle Rorik might be curious as to where we got a van, but we should be okay. We'll take some of our tunnels."
We are the moles.
Yeah,
Mole
we are
people.
the moles.
The
Cook,
image.
is that you?
The image just entered my head of the children hijacking the van and using it to abduct adults, and the strange twist of irony that would be.
That would be pretty good.
I did have that image drawn of the lemon kids and Doku abducting some guy.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was a while ago. I forgot about that. You need to resend that image. I missed that. I forgot about that image. Anyways, Millie goes, "Okay, I'm ready when you are, Doku. Just go get your van friends, and I'll meet you outside." And then she pulls out her gun, and oh look, yeah, there we go. Yeah, Millie's secret. Oh man.
Yeah, they're not the children of the corn, they're the children of the lemon.
Yeah. I see Thomas and Billy fighting in the background.
Just Millie shouting back, "Oi! Stop it!"
Stop it! I love this image.
My head.
It's so fucking good.
Oh man. Anyways, she pulls out her gun, makes sure it's loaded, pulls it up, puts the safety back on, puts it back into her jacket, and goes, "I'll meet you down there." And then she'll kind of hustle down the stairs to make sure that she has everything ready for her little spelunking adventure with the van people.
Hell yeah. Well, Doku is gonna nod, and he is going to walk out, head over to the van. Tell him, we are. Wait, no. I have to speak in Doku speech.
Doku is
Goku, huh?
Doku. No,
Busan.
stop it.
Midoku no Bozo, Midoku King.
Mm.
Goku no Pico.
Thank you, Randy. I was gonna say.
Okay, we've all had a long day. I will forgive you. Everybody out of the van.
I'll leave Eugene here.
Eugene, Doku will rip off the band-aid clean and fast. Your van is broken. It is gone, set on fire, ablaze, destroyed. Now follow Doku.
You're gonna say Doku knows a lot of big words.
Doku has max intelligence. Doku's
That
IQ is
Sometimes I have
So
trouble
sorry, that's the
believing that.
surprising
is one
thing I think
smart
we learned
fish.
in the whole game.
Anyways, uh, Millie
Other
will
than me.
kind of pop. Uh, hello, um, Miss Genevieve. I'm still sorry about shooting your van. Please don't shoot us.
Look, I feel sorry for pulling a gun on you kids. Don't worry about it.
Okay, well, we appreciate that. Yeah, we have backup now, but yeah, it's all good. Anyways, yeah, we found some tunnels a long time ago, and we've just kind of been using them. I mean, we use them pretty often actually. So let's.
Tunnels.
I'll lead you to it. Yeah,
Tunnels like
tunnels. They lead.
sewer system or tunnels?
Oh, well, like tunnels. The sewer is a whole nother thing, and some of them lead into the sewers. They're not maintained very well over here. Uh, but no, these are tunnels, and they
And
should
you
get you to where you go.
didn't dig them?
No, no, we found them. Uh, we found them. Well, had to been a few years ago, and we've been using them to get around the city. But they're really kind of, well, they're not very well taken care of, and we're not too keen on doing that ourselves. So some of them fall, and some of them are very easy to get lost in. So I use them to snake around.
It's slightly
Doku can
worrying.
give a few pointers on structural integrity.
That implies that they were there, but the people who were using them before are no longer around to take care of them. That's
Yep.
worrying.
Nah, happens all the time. People die, people leave.
No, not that. The fact that there are tunnels all under the 10th district.
They go
Yeah.
further. They
Oh.
they go further out.
The first assumption was smugglers, but if they're not being maintained, the smugglers are still alive and well in the city.
Well, yeah, maybe, but we've never run into anybody down there except one time.
Ooh,
Who was it?
It was a strange weirdo. Uh, he kind of lunged at us, and we haven't seen him ever again. But it was a creepy thing. He moved around in the dark, and it was really hard to hear him. And well, he didn't. I don't think he wanted to hurt us, but well, we haven't seen him, and it was a year or two ago, so we just assumed he left.
could it possibly be
What do
my
you look
underdeveloped
like?
brother?
Hey, something I got siblings too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Yeah, what does he look
Oh, well, we didn't get
like?
much.
What did he?
He looked a little weird. I mean, like we didn't get much of a light on him. In fact, when we shined a light on him, that's when he got mad, and then he kind of jumped, and he ended up going down into the sewers. A hole had broken, and he slinked down into there.
Hmm.
First assumption is vampire. And then,
Nah.
well then,
Would I know if my guild ran any vampires down in their maintenance tunnels or no?
No, because vampires in the system are a little bit different, and I should clarify because I think I may have brought it up like once. Vampires in the Genesis system are people almost kind of like Valen, where they're just leaking Genesis. Something has wounded them internally, and they're constantly feeling the need to acquire more and find ways to drain other people's and basically turn them into hollow husks. They don't really have a sunlight weakness. So, but in terms of fighting anything in your smuggling tunnels, well, not even smuggling tunnels, but your merchant tunnels, um, like let's be fair, they were smuggling tunnels.
Yeah.
Your guild smuggling tunnels specifically, you didn't really run into anything like that. They were usually pretty guarded, but the development into the 10th district didn't go very far, only because there really wasn't a need for them. uh Rorik aside, a lot of stuff just got to happen out in the open, and they kind of stopped being used after a while.
Okay.
As to what could have
And
taken
it's kind and
longer, you don't know.
okay.
Mm.
All right, yeah, just wanted to check.
Understandable, yeah. That's a good way of line of thinking. Did you say that brother thing out loud, by the way, Doku?
No, no, of course not.
Like, whoa, Doku, you have a brother. Are they cool? Do they walk on walls? Like, anyways,
Doku has one brother that he is fully aware of is alive, might be alive right now.
mhm, maybe so. Um,
Oh, the whole reason Doku's sticking with you bozos.
the whole reason Doku's here.
Laser beat. No.
Some
Um, oh, I'm sorry, guys. Just one moment. I think
No
my
problem.
mother just got here to watch Addie, so I'm just gonna let her in.
Okay.
all right.
Man, can't believe it. You have tunnels now.
Yep.
We got mole people.
We got mole people. It's the Lost Boys, and Doku
Mole
be Peter Pan.
Mole people.
Walk like mole, talk like people? Question mark.
More people, more people.
This is
A lot of moles. We have some people.
Some. I'm just imagining that every few like cluster of kids have their own little nickname to them, where Millie, Billy, and Thomas are like the lemon kids, including Doku. And then there's like some other B story group that's like the rats. And they've been singing birthday bashes.
We're the rat.
yeah, right.
And the
And then they've
giant
been stealing
that
that performance is just their distraction. They've been stealing from the pockets of all the mothers that hire them.
How's everybody doing?
Tired.
Been doing good.
That's good. As for
I
you,
like stress lasers now.
oh boy, yes, that's exactly what we needed attached to our anxiety puddle.
When uh, when when Val gets stressed, she becomes a light show.
Yeah, essentially. And
Pew, pew,
you know what the
pew.
best part is? You know what the
Should be-
best part about that is?
Hmm?
What?
That light show, it hurts you and me.
The most dangerous performance that I.
Mm-hmm.
And no,
They,
I'm not joking. When I did that first laser set, it did 35 damage total. That also applied to me. I took 35 damage to do that.
Mm. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, that kind of nastiness when it comes to like abilities like that. It's like
You know, I just realized
Hmm?
uh those people found Eugene's van in like a matter of days.
Yep.
Less even.
It's because Eugene at the very least was nominally known in the underground.
That's true. But like they found him pretty fast.
They did. They found him very fast.
I think that the Pillar Knight sold me out.
Quite possibly.
Nah,
I mean,
maybe.
Karn, who knew you personally,
Yeah.
uh,
He was
yeah.
the one who called me to let me know they were looking for me. I'm pretty sure he sold me out.
I wouldn't put
Was it his
past
party?
him. Yeah, it was his party. I would not put it
Ah.
past him to play both sides.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, Eugene. who hasn't been here in character hasn't been here for a hot minute. You should stress the amalgamation out for no reason.
Don't do it.
What?
Don't do it.
Stress Valen out, please. Listen, you'll see something cool.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
You want me to stress him? Stress her out?
Go for it.
Don't.
No. How?
Don't.
Come on.
Hey, kid. You ever had to pay taxes? I don't know.
Glows
Okay, I'm
green.
back. Sorry
Hey,
about that.
kids,
Glows,
you want to
glows green.
trick
Glows green.
to get out of taxes? It's called don't pay them.
Hey kids, do you like violence? You want to see me succeed?
Hey, kids, you like violence?
Anyways, I am back. Sorry about that. I am all ready to continue if you guys are all here.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Alrighty.
Yes.
We're all heading to the mole hole. I mean, the tunnel.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah. So
woo.
we covered that there's quite possibly fuckery afoot with tunnels underground with a strange creature spotted within.
Some sort of rat man.
A rat creature. Not Skaven, I swear. And that aside, that is a lesser worry at the moment, unfortunately. Our main worry now is the problem of finding Frogi.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a frog? Because his
No.
name sounds like Froggy.
No, his name is he is a dwarf, but
No, he's a dwarf. Yeah, he's a dwarf.
Is he a frog-like dwarf? What? Why did they name him like that?
Ask Jake.
I did it on the fly, right?
oh man. Let's see.
I had to think of something. That was the first thing that came to mind.
It's not a
There
bad
could
one.
only be one frog.
No, there's two. Oh, it's three now, actually.
Would Doku like to become
Wait, what?
Froggy?
Wait, how do you mean three?
Anyways, Millie kind of loads. She's got a backpack on, and she's bundled herself up. She goes, "It gets a bit cold down there, especially now that it's getting a little colder, anyways. But it's not too far. In fact, it's a pretty quick walk with all these tunnels. Makes it a lot easier to get over there. Once we get into the factory area, I think that it's behind there, so we'll get it all working out. So come on now." And she kind of starts marching very confidently over to a dumpster, and the dumpster's on wheels, and so she kind of pushes against it a few times, and again, and it kind of moves, at least a little bit, but then eventually it does, and underneath there's just this hole in the ground. just the it's just a sinkhole basically. And she goes, "Okay, there it is. You just gotta slip in right down. It's a little bit of a jump, but go." And then she just jumps into the sinkhole.
Oh, here goes nothing. I will jump down.
Spending far too much time in holes in the ground.
That's true.
Ken, do you want me to hear you? She says towards Genevieve.
That is sweet, but unnecessary.
On the hole you go, then.
Down the hole, one by one, as everybody jumps into the hole. It's not a very far fall, but it is very dark down here.
Man, we're going down the. I'm not going to say anything, actually.
Yeah, let's not.
Silence.
Millie immediately pulls a flashlight out and kind of shines it around. And what you guys are in is a carved tunnel. You can tell it's carved because these walls have been machined. It's very dark down here, but there is some semblance of what once was wood keeping this place up, and a pathway that kind of stretches both ways. She goes, "Okay. I believe it was this way. And she just begins walking north.
Well then,
There we go.
follow our guide.
Alright, north we go.
Yep.
And it's probably. I'll let Matt decide that.
Yep.
It's probably dangerous. That's
No, I
okay.
was gonna
It's
say.
dangerous to go alone. Take this.
No.
Hands over.
Thanks,
Millie
old man. That's really nice.
Millie gives them a gun. It's dangerous to go. Kidding.
It's your wrinkle ticket again.
You actually know it.
Yep.
Oh,
Star
jeez.
bomb.
Oh, I was
Man,
not expecting Lynn to know that of all people.
that's
I
pretty
listen to that song like a dozen times over every year.
I know Luigi's Ballad by heart, unfortunately.
But that one I actually don't know. By heart.
Good.
I've watched it though.
funny. I need everyone who has dark vision to make me a perception check. Yeah, that's it. Just if you have dark vision.
I think I do.
I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah, I do. Perception.
Nope.
Doku, do you have dark vision?
Yeah, I do.
Can't
Yeah,
check
it's
vision.
Well, this is unfortunate.
Can I glow?
I mean, you could, but it wouldn't change the fact that you couldn't. It wouldn't do it. Yeah, make a perception roll then, Doku.
split
Okay.
completely even, 13.
The walk is pretty much simple. It is a bit of a worn down tunnel, and admittedly, Cal, as you're walking through these tunnels, you realize that these smuggler tunnels, or these tunnels, are the same type of smuggler tunnels that you've encountered when you were working with the guild. At least when you were a little younger, though they are very much out of date. And when you joined the guild, you didn't really even remember there being too many tunnels out to the 10th district. Admittedly, it's a bit of a project, and it's kind of just kind of forgotten about. So that doesn't surprise you too much. But
Okay.
yeah, carrying further, though you can't really spot exactly from where, Doku, you get this. Wait, Cal, what was your roll? I didn't see because I'm not in the roll 20.
I got a 5.
5.
Oh yeah, no. Cal, you don't really notice much else aside from the fact that you've definitely been in tunnels like this before. But Doku, you every once in a while catch this guttering around. It's not like rats or bats or anything of the sort. It's something with footfalls, and you're not quite sure exactly where. But you definitely hear them, and they're almost like they're trailing either behind you or beneath you, but you're not quite sure exactly where and what they might be. You just know that they're there. After about a 20-minute walk and getting lost a little bit on the way, Millie kind of turns to you and goes, "All right, up here." And from her little backpack, she she pulls out a what's the best way to put this? Like a little a sickle, basically, like something you would sink into a rock. And above her is this giant hole once again. Though this one is a little bit more purposeful. The last one just so happened to be a hole in the ground. This one is an actual carved exit, and she kind of taps the wall with her little sickle and goes, "Oh, this is perfect." And and then very quickly she grabs onto the ladder nearby, shakes it, and goes, "It's not going to fall," and then climbs on up.
All right.
As we're as we're moving through these tunnels, Cal speak to and say, "Hey, I recognize some of these back when I was working in Merchants Guild. Oh, they seem to have don't seem to be using these much anymore, though.
Neat.
No one had anything to say. That's okay though.
Hmm.
There's
Amelia,
definitely something scuttling in there. It's okay. They'll go kill on sight.
Huh, I just realized something.
what's that?
Genevieve's eyes would have a reflective quality in the dark.
Would they?
Yeah, they would. She has night vision.
She has
Oh.
night vision.
Yep.
Well, then you can also make a perception check.
I checked when she. I forgot. Oh wait, she's not just human.
Yeah, she's not just human.
17.
That is a little better. Then you hear this a little better. As you're kind of scuttering through them, you inevitably start hearing the same scuttling that Doku did, but it's a little bit more than that, and you swear that you hear some labored breathing beneath your feet.
Neither.
Whatever it is. Yes, beneath your feet as you're in these tunnels. And not quite sure exactly what it is. That you can't really perceive. But what you do know is that whatever it is following you. You're not sure the intent. It doesn't pounce, it doesn't lunge. But it seems to be pretty consistent.
Hmm. So whatever Millie saw down here is down here with us. Gonna pass a quiet warning back to the other folks.
Now, do you say that to Millie as well?
She is our guard. Our guide. It does stand to
The
reason.
14-year-old.
The child's our guard.
She is our guide. It does stand to reason that we should probably tell her that there's something out there.
Oh, I'm not. I mean, I don't think that they're gonna hurt us. There might just be some people who are walking in the sewers.
I mean, it makes sense. If they wanted to hurt us, they would have already tried.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe they're just scared of us. And we're very scary. Or maybe we're bigger than them.
I can see that. I mean, Doku can see that.
I mean, Doku can see that. All right. This
Yeah.
is new. Wait, I'm popular. Doku. I am the third person. Can see that.
Wait, if we're listening to sound, wouldn't anyone be able to make that not needing night vision to hear?
Shut up.
The point has been made.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean,
If it's an
intelligence.
audio thing, why do we need dark vision?
I can hear with my eyes.
Do
Synesthesia.
we need dark hearing?
Yes.
Yes.
Matt gonna have dark hearing then.
Yeah, you need dark
You
hearing.
must have the
I
pointy
should-
elf ears.
Yeah, I definitely should have clarified about what you actually were seeing. My apologies. If your passive perception was over 17, you can also make the roll.
Violence.
Wait, me?
If anyone's passive perception is over 17, you can make the
Oh,
roll.
passive perception. Uh-uh.
Oh, passive perception.
Yeah,
I thought you said ass perception.
Yeah.
The Marquis is
I thought you
great
said-
at perceiving ass.
That's true.
Takes one to know one.
I mean, I got a fine booty in front of me.
That's true. That's true. Anyways, yeah, Marquis is actually walking at the head of the pack and is talking about the child. Call Chrysanthemum right
Oh
now.
god.
I'm kidding.
Ah.
Anyways,
Doku will gut you
Actually,
where you stand.
I'm the only person here
Points.
who doesn't have dark vision. I'm probably in the middle of the pack because
No,
otherwise I'd be lost.
I don't have dark vision.
yeah,
Yeah, Valentine are in the middle of the pack.
yeah. Yeah. So either way, you couldn't really glean much else from that perception check, anyways. I probably should have clarified that it was a vision thing. I don't know why I said that, but it doesn't matter either way. Uh, um, you make your way out either way, and Millie stands at the top and looks around, and this is one of the nicer, quote unquote, looking areas. Um, the factory is still used, albeit very sparingly. And admittedly, it's like one of those industrial districts that like nobody is quite aware as to what actually happens here. They just know that things happen here. Um, though it is a little bit worse for wear. There are some silos nearby that are all kind of either torn down, old, or kind of ragged, but the factory itself is still in working order. But as you all get up, Millie points over to the far silo, and you see that there's just a big crack running up it, and it hasn't fallen, admittedly, which is a good thing, but it's definitely damaged. And she kind of turns back and goes, "If you're looking for that dive bar, it's in there."
Thank you, Millie.
No, of course.
Help.
If you need me to come back, I'll be in the tunnels.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And then Millie's gonna just hop back down to the tunnel.
Okay. We do not look like we belong in a dive bar.
No, you do not.
What
Cal
I
kinda
don't
does.
is
know,
a
you're
dive
right,
bar?
I have a
A
disguise.
dive bar is a low quality bar, dirty, serves watered down drinks, and is usually where most of the where cheap asses and people of lower economic income come to.
If you cut some marquee, I basically have like my hair a little bit oiled back. It's like that messy thing. My sleeves are rolled up. Like my Jack Curry has like grime and shit on it. Like, what are you talking about? I look like look at it.
No, he's gonna
Uh,
point at Eugene, so like him. I mean Marky, like him.
Exactly
one
like
thing
him.
I guess one thing I should do for consideration of others. Was there a time change that I'm not aware of? Because we're running a little late.
Yeah, we started a bit late.
Yeah, I'm just see if there's something that I didn't realize. Like,
Well,
is there a time change?
we started a bit late, so really we can pretty much just wrap it up right around here. Oh, Red jumped in at some point and then redeemed a
Yeah.
plushie quest,
Oh,
and
cool.
I didn't notice.
I think
Well,
that might
yeah.
have just been just now because I just checked. Yeah,
It
no.
was a little while ago.
Oh, it was.
Mhm.
I didn't notice. Oh well.
That's
I didn't mention anything simply because with the plushie quest redeem,
just
it's a little
wouldn't
hard
have
to do with. Yeah.
I can do a thing where I just second.
I mean, I can redeem her points if you want.
Give me a second. I will just in front of it.
But yeah, the heckin' last thing that I'll mention is if we have some level of light, I'd like to roll on my disguise kit to put like a scar on my cheek.
Oh yeah, no, you guys have got light. I mean, because you have to think,
We're out
you
of the
guys
tunnel
left
now.
early morning. Yeah, you're out of the
Oh,
tunnel.
cool.
Yeah, it's probably not even like noon at this point. Well,
I-
no, it's probably like noon. So it's about noon.
Oop. That's a 23. It's a 23 to make me look like I belong in the dive bar, baby.
Congratulations, you really fit the bill for
Mhm.
I work in a dive bar. Do you have a mullet? Is that what we're going for it? Like
Hey, man.
Plushie Quest is sitting on. I just noticed you put him
Mhm.
on the fucking
On the counter,
that's
yeah.
cute.
Genevieve, like, who already took off her lab coat at one point to give to Valen, for I hope dressing her up in some proper clothing, just kind of takes off her sweater, and just there in a tank top, tattoos on full display and just like, okay, let's just get this over with.
Are we gonna address
Cal
that?
for his,
Oh, yeah, no, go on.
Cal for his part, I think Cal's already dressed in like some fairly like dive bar-ish clothes. Maybe he still has his hat on though.
You absolutely are. I should clarify that
Yeah.
Cal looks like he should be here, and you're all being irresponsible parents by bringing a child into a dive bar.
I'm gonna do a disguise kit on Doku to make him look like a trailer baby. And now we don't have any questions.
Don't touch me.
Hold still. Well, alright, clearly you're fighting it because I got 7. Okay, so this is for your own good.
Oh,
If we
man.
make it look like Genevieve has a drug problem, none of this will be questioned.
Narrows her eyes at you.
What am I?
Nevertheless, as you all throw
Well,
off,
you buoy me, I'm right.
As everybody knows, I hate it when people are right.
that's fair. Nevertheless, I think after your disguises have been put on, and you make your way towards the Maddie is mad. After disguises have been put, and everything is all settled and situated, you make your way into the silo, and you are met with string lights lighting up this nasty place, and very bad like butt rock music playing in the background, echoing through the silo. And while there are a few people in there who all absolutely look like criminals, there is a familiar face, a very, very cheerful blonde dwarf with hair down to his ass, braided up, braided, well, at least, yeah, braided to some extent, also braided into his beard into what you could only assume to be the trailer parkiest trash that you could absolutely consider, as he
I
has
love
managed
it.
to pull off a mullet, goatee, beard braid all at the same time.
Oh my god.
I
And
love
that is
him.
that is where we will
It's
end for
trailer
now.
park Jesus.
Hey,
As Frogy is introduced, he looks
The
he
trailer
doesn't
park
even look
Messiah.
the trailer
Trailer Park Boys.
literally, and giant glasses to boot. But we will figure that out next session as we get ourselves back into a dangerous district and see what awaits down in that lab that we've been waiting oh so long to see.
Beautiful.
So that was a bit of a slog one, but not a slog one, a slower one. Wasn't as action packed as the last one, but
Oh,
I hope y'all had fun.
if my estimations are any true, we may be seeing a change in that very quickly. What with Iliastra's bunch,
Yeah.
we may have to kill some people soon.
Well, we'll see. But for now, we're gonna have to see how that goes next time because I'm very excited. Next
The
week,
next season
the
of Dragon, I mean,
Genesis Ball Z.
Genesis balls.
Now that'll be
this
after.
is bad.
Genesis Balls.
No, season 1 will clearly wrap up after you fail to, and or potentially don't fail to, depending on how good you guys pull it off, save Ausar. So
Yes.
Yay!
yeah, that'll be a good place. But either way, thank you all for being here. Sorry it ran a little later than normal. We started later than normal. Next session we'll pick up in the dive bar with Trailer Park Messiah, and it should be all good.
We. Okay.
All
Thank you very much for running.
right. Had a good time.
Yes, thank you.
Very good.
Yep.
Everybody got a little bit of time to do stuff today. There was a lot that happened this session, actually. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Only much,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we had Cal's I Know a guy. We had Doku talking to the Lemon Kids and becoming the child messiah. We had Genevieve and Marquis figuring out how to repair Valen's core ever so slightly, which then made Valen go through character arc shit. That was a pretty eventful session, actually. Now that I think about it.
A lot of
Yeah.
individual
Laser
character-
beam.
Level up.
No, you didn't level up yet.
Dang.
Aw.
We're gonna have to.
Laser
I think we're gonna have to do some good old We're returning a little bit back to the roots of D&D. A little bit of cultist murder before we level.
Yeah, we may just have to. But I leave that up for you guys to deal
It's
with.
for Doku's new sneak attack to just be testicular torsion.
No.
God no.
Please don't do that.
Besides, you're not a high enough level wizard to do that.
Devastation.
You're not a high enough level wizard.
You don't know that spell.
Oh.
It's okay. It all started with a little bit of hard work
Ugh.
and elbow grease.
And elbow grease. Don't you mean it'll Doku started with a little bit of hard work and elbow grease?
All in the verse.
Doku is excited to stop doing this.
Doku has decided to stop talking in the third person because
Now
Doku
everybody
is
else will talk of Doku in second
Because
person.
Doku forgets about it sometimes.
Doku next session, forget about it.
Doku wanted to do a new persona. Doku is just figuring out his own identity. Ah!
Doku's just-
Doku's identity
Doku is experimenting with a branding process.
That's true. Yeah, you have to figure it out. Either way, thank you all for being here. Next session we'll probably have a Pebby and Ditto all back again. At least we hope.
Also,
June will be back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
So that'll be
okay.
yeah, just about I believe because her flight lands here on the 3rd of June, which is haha.
In a little more than a week, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit
Like
more.
a week and a half.
Week and a half, yeah.
So
So it'll actually be
next
on...
weekend she'll be out, but after that I think she'll be back.
Yeah, and actually that'll be on a Saturday. So I don't think June and I will be there that week to play because I'll have to pick her up from the airport and it
That's
is a
fair.
2-hour drive.
Well, hopefully by the on the 27th you guys will be done with that dungeon and missing 2 people won't have too much of an impact.
That is true.
Alternatively,
I
oh wait, Sully here has just floated me the idea for although that would be very quick, very soon.
What is it?
Well, no. Sully had the idea she wanted. They wanted to run what do you call it, a one shot of their own. But that may have to wait. Alternatively, we could just take that day off. That would be perfect because that is also a potential day that I wanted to vampire for the dungeon lab.
Oh, that also works out.
We
We'll
were
get
waiting
it
for a
all
good
figured
time
out.
to do that. So yeah,
Mhm.
we'll see. That
Oh,
will
good.
be.
We will figure that
third.
out as we get to it. Yeah.
Next weekend, though, fun stuff begins. We'll have more Genesis, and we'll have the very dramatic cliffhanger being picked up again from yesterday.
If you kill me, Rami, you're gonna die.
Yeah, I know what's gonna happen. Anyway, with that said, and with slight foreshadowing for next weekend, thank you all very much for coming. I'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.